Justin, John, I'm on a long fuel run, so you guys can come underneath me.
Good luck, guys. Let's have a good first race of the season. And, of course, let's make it a good one.
Shards of glass in my veins, every step a jagged refrain. Crawling through the static haze, burning skin against the blaze. Is it worth it to keep moving when the edge is calling me? Push past the pain, feel it break, feel it crack through the static, no turning back. Push pain, every scream, every scar. I find out who we really are. Fists clench against the grind, blood and sweat, it rewinds. Echo scream, can't ignore. Walls crumble, show me more. Will it end here or go deeper? What's the cost of breaking free? Push past the pain, feel it break, feel it crack through the static, no turning back. Push pain, every scream, every scar. I'll find out who we really are. I'll find out who we really
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network's production of Monday Night Mayhem. The Moonlight Racing League is live at Legacy, Atlanta. We are traveling back in time to 2021 before the repay. You're watching the Stream to Serve 135, too wide in the booth. Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella bringing you all the action. Zach, we've stepped into a time machine and we've come out in an entirely different era. How does that track look with those 24-degree banking?
Oh man, this is like that perfect type of time machine that you see in like a TV show or a movie where you go back to the good old days that you never quite got to experience. Because I was not in iRacing when this track was its old glory like we get to race on today. So I feel like I'm in the best type of time machine, me and Jeannie. It's really between like this and like Gangster Mafia Italy back in the 40s is like where I'd like to go.
Peggy, what's the matter, you, huh?
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
Needless to say, this is also the first time for the boys of Moonlight. They have raced on Echopark, updated track, but this will be the first time Monday Night Mayhem has come to Legacy Atlanta. Want to give a little bit of time to our sponsor this race. The Stream to Serve is a platform that will allow you to make donations to the Wounded Warrior Project. So this is a MRL sponsored race. Stream to Serve is the platform, and donations today will go straight to the Wounded Warrior Project. If you're not familiar, Wounded Warrior is the mission of the Wounded Warrior Project is to honor and empower wounded warriors. Since 2003, Wounded Warrior Project has been committed to post 9/11 wounded service members and their families, helping them achieve their highest ambitions. They provide life-changing services in mental and physical health, career counseling, and long-term rehabilitative care, all at no cost to the soldiers and their families. Fundraising through Stream to Serve helps ensure that warriors never pay a penny for Wounded Warrior Project programs. They paid their dues on the battlefield. So thank you so much to MRL and Stream to Serve for sponsoring such a good organization. Now, qualifying just finished up. We can take a peek up top and look at that tree. And there he is, Nate Lesko, going to be your pole sitter. Congratulations to Nate, joined on the front row with Grant Applegate. These two also at the top of the regular season points battle. Joe Volpus going to be in third, joined by Buddy Sully. Couple of guys right there also with wins on the season. Steve Lewis currently on the in the playoff picture, going to be joined by Eric Gambrell in sixth. Jay Darger, Justin Parham, Ryan Holla, Nick Mills, Jay Stinson, Michael Mata, Tony Iverson, Craig Schroeder, still in the S6 car. Brad Furrow, Alex Hillman, Kyle Lynott, Kenneth Rittinger-White, Milkelson, Sam Milliken, the M&M Show on row 10. Lucas Alves, Matthew Zerwick, Zach Winstead. Welcome back, Zach. Congratulations to the new daddy. Colin Bollinger, Kevin Kyle, Jeff Herman, Matt Novella, John Beverly, Hunter Hall, Brandon Guerin, 30 men on the grid. Let's go to our third partner.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, the star of Universal Pictures movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Kevin James.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
Woo! How you feel, Zach?
I feel so ready, Mean Gene. We just saw ARCA put on an incredible show here. We will leave that QR code for donations on the bottom right of this entire broadcast, but we got some old Atlanta racing to do.
Yes, sir. It is time to go. Pace car out of the way. Keeping an eye on Nate Lesko up front in the number 10. Green flag waves. Away we go. Lesko battling Grant Applegate. Applegate already close. These two guys have had an interesting history battling door to door for both of their wins this season. Going to expect to see a lot more of that here today. Joe Volpus is going to sneak down on the apron underneath Applegate. Applegate with the exit speed up top. Top three now single file. Buddy Sully, Steve Lewis rounding off the top five. but boy, it gets spicy around 11th place.
It really does. You're already seeing in the middle of the field, we are 3 wide right here with the 5, or the S6, the 99. Look at that track count's paying lower than that right there. But you can see right here, these guys want to get the getting while the getting's good, get those positions, and look to the front end of that 99, Mean Gene. I'm already seeing, oh, I thought it was damaged. No, it's not. I'm sorry. That truck looking, or that car looking good. So far, so good here.
Now, we saw this racing earlier, less banking than Echopark. We just watched the DDI ARCA race. Very interesting how this worked. That high line does work, but you really got to abuse that right front to make it happen and keep speed, or else you are susceptible to somebody giving you that old slide job and rolling right up in front of you. But again, right front wear gonna be at a premium as we battle here at the Stream to Serve 135 laps scheduled. The stage points will be awarded at 68, but no caution is scheduled. So wide open racing here on the 24-degree banking of Legacy Atlanta.
Very interesting running order right now in terms of who is where, Mean Gene, and excuse me, particularly about 20th on back. Very, very interesting. You're calling Colin Bollinger one of our past champions, currently hanging out in 21st place. You also have Kyle Lynott in 18th. Kenneth Redinger, one of the more dominant drivers, no matter what series is in lately, is in that group in 5th and 16th. And in front of him is Tony Iverson in 15th.
Yeah, so a lot of big names. You can also add the rookie 51 Wyatt Nicholson, who is part of the playoff picture and has had some top fives here in his recent finishes to the group of cars doing battle. That's that number 5, Brad Furrow. We've seen Furrow make use of tracks that have a high line. So once this thing spreads out, I'm expecting that 5 of Furrow to start using the speed that you can find on the Larson line on the outside. Right. Oh, just want to say, Zach, look at all these American-themed cars. Big shout-out to the drivers here today racing in the Stream to Serve 135. They knew the assignment, and they did exactly what every red-blooded American wants to do, and that's represent the Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, and they're looking good doing it, Mean Gene. A lot of really cool, whether they be nods to real-life patriotic paint schemes we've seen in the past at races like the 600, and also some custom ones. Very, very good-looking stuff out here. Loving the representation and this league all in. Such a good community here, and you're seeing it here that extends to on and off track. These guys doing a great job putting on a show here. But I love what you said, Mean Gene, about the potential of what we like to call the Larson line here, which is that ultra, ultra high line. And if you want to know how to find it, it's a line that no one's using yet, right? No one really trying to go that high yet.
No, they're not. A little bit of a contact there. You can see Iverson got into the back of the 99 of Jay Stinson. Stinson, 3rd place last weekend and 13th in points. So Stinson doesn't need to get caught up into any of that insanity. Lets Iverson go. And now Iverson directly behind his best friend, Colin Bollinger. And he might touch him, and he does.
Bollinger into the wall, Mean Gene. That was a pretty sizable hit. We saw a few hits like that in ARCA, but these are not ARCA cars. These are far more delicate, especially considering where you hit them. We talk so much about how you want to kind of pancake it. You don't want your wheel turned. I think Bollinger may have gotten away with one there, but we'll find out soon.
Well, and, you know, I've been watching the 13. You know, Zach doing a great job for the people at home, bringing them all the action. Oh, well, this is what happened earlier. Oh, no.
I think that was Mata, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mata. Man, death, taxes, and Michael Mata struggling in the first 15 laps of races, Mean Gene.
So we were, you know, back it up for a moment. Iverson already had made contact with Stinson. Then he made contact with Bollinger, so he was plowing up the track. That's going on 3 lengths behind this action right here. Michael Nada and the S6.
Let's take a look at that.
Craig Schroeder.
Okay, so here we go. Like you were talking about, we'll see what happened here. Because I think you're right. We had 2 separate incidents here. Look at a wider camera angle here, too, so we can really see what happened.
I mean, because Parham already owed Iverson a receipt when he was wedging him up there.
And you're right, they come together there, and there goes Mata around. Oh, Nice save there. Was that Garrett? No, that was the... Oh, man. Oh, Gabriel with a phenomenal save. And now we'll keep our eyes on Mata and watch this one more time. And Mata, I think he may have gotten loose on exit, Mean Gene?
I don't know. Schroeder was awful close. I can't tell if Mata came down. Again, these cars plow up. That right tire is just melting.
It is. You're so right. And once it kind of tightens up around 3/4 in the corner, there's no real saving it. It's so hard. And Michael Mata gets finished off by the 5-6 there. I'm sorry, the S6 there.
S6.
The Super
right.
6. And look at Gambrel. Days of Thundering. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Nice save by the
all right, so pits are open. We see 10 cars stay out on the track. Everybody else going to come in for a visit for a little bit of fuel and maybe an inspection of some front ends. So things I'm noticing early on is this is a wide open track. Some people obeying the law of physics and trying to take the low line early to save that front tire. Others just kind of going for it, and we saw plowing begin on lap number 9. So that's how quick these tires heat up. Remember, what happens with the tires is how quick you heat them up. You can't get them back down to temperature at 183 miles an hour through a 24-degree bank turn.
Exactly, Mean Gene. And as you see on screen right now, we got a new leader, a Buddy Sally, who did not pit. And now I'm going to show you guys on something on screen here as well. And that's Kevin Kyle. And he is the last car not to pit, Mean Gene. Grammar is hard. Not to pit.
No, you got this.
Last car not pit. Yeah, exactly. It was the last car not pit. But Kevin Kyle rounding out the top 10. And that's going to be no tires at all. I mean, no nothing. These guys did not come down at all. Beyond that, behind them, I'm mostly seeing fuel only, Mean Gene. Maybe, just maybe, Tony Iverson maybe took tires.
Yeah, Tony has that number because he didn't take any damage. He was the one, he was just touching people enough to get him loose. He wasn't slamming in. Those were all controlled incidents right there. So Tony did come in, but he just took fuel, as did the 20 cars in the back of the field. Top 10 staying out. So we'll keep an eye on their gas mileage as this thing progresses. But 30 cars, you can think we might be seeing another caution the way that this thing went the first 10. Up front, Buddy Sully, he has won this year, dominated that road course. So to see Buddy Sully up front, no surprise, our season 3 champion, Buddy Sully, did retire briefly. Now he's back behind the wheel of the 21. Pace car is off. Green flag, away we go. Nick Mills not happy. Ram Sully.
Huge.
Oh, Mickelson. Hillman.
The 27.
27 of Zach Winstead.
I'm seeing Applegate blacked out. I'm not sure why.
Gambrel spin.
Oh, man, Mean Gene.
Oh, it's a flat. I'm having a flashback to that restart when Nick Mills jammed it right into the tailpipe of Joe Vulpes in a Sunday Cup race. Joe, green, white checkered, led most of that race. Bam, bam, bam. Nick Mills jams him. He gets loose. Joe loses. Joe's sad. Here we go again. Nick Mills ready to go.
You said you saw a big bump, right? You did, and you were 1,000% right, Mean Gene. That was not...
Look at the gap. Look at the gap of the cars.
Yeah.
Boom.
And it's gone already. I wonder if that was planned. I doubt it was. I think that was just a big push by Mills there.
Now they're in Discord with each other.
Are they? Okay, so maybe it was planned and went horribly wrong. Because here you see Mills in the middle. Really let Buddy go, or give him his best chance to gather it up, right?
Yeah.
And so you're right. It's Mickelson there, and that's a 59. Garen's going to get a little bit of it. Huge.
Hillman. Oh, is the 08 Hillman?
Oh, yeah, and it's one of those.
And then here comes Zach Winstead in the Simmon Destroy 27.
Simmon destroying and gets Hillman one more time for good measure.
And then what's his face? Eric Gambrell gets on a little too hard, and you see him spinning in the background.
Oh, there he is. You're right. There is Gambrell with a little bit of a spin. Don't think Gambrell touched anything. We'll find out here. Oh, he did, Mean Gene. He nosed it into the wall. Oh, and Bollinger barely misses him. Great checkup by Bollinger.
Yeah.
That is the difference between someone being extremely experienced and someone not. We talk so much about how fast Gambrell is. Watch this experience here from Bollinger versus Gambrell. They both make the same mistake. They both grab too much brake. Look at Bollinger nearly do the same thing, but to the left. He's able to save it. Gambrell not able to.
Very unfortunate. You know, and while we're under caution, this is a great time to give a shout out to our season-long league sponsor, Fish Speed Brakes. Jordan Fisher and his organization of coaches using Garage 61 to teach drivers how to get better, how to get faster, and how to win championships. Fish Speed Brakes, give them a jump. You're going to want to see. Also, big announcement for the Vortex Racing Network. Coming soon, we will be releasing track guides through Fish Speed Brakes. That's right. We will be releasing them right here on our YouTube channel. You can get that insight that these guys receive from Jordan Fisher and his coaches on how to use the tracks. We're going to release the Nashville one a little bit later this week. The boys are in Nashville next week. Just to give you a taste of what you could get if you were to sign up with Fish Speed Brakes. Coaching and a Discord just filled with advice, hints, little something to pick up on here and there. Thank you so much, Jordan and Fish Speed Brakes, for your sponsorship all year long. Let's take a look what's going on in the pit. Boy, everybody decided come and take a visit. Looks like only 7 guys now have not visited pit lane.
Right, and it looks like still Iverson potentially the only one on Freshies in this field. So we'll have to keep our eye on him, and hopefully we can go more than 10 feet in this restart. Excited to see what happens here. And Nick Mills now going to be occupying the front row, and he just learned something firsthand.
Yeah, I was about to say, Nick's front bumper ain't near anybody. What about Tony? Where's his bumper?
Yeah, exactly. His bumper is in 14th, so it's near everybody. Here we go.
All right, green flag. We are underway again. Good start there by Nate Lesko. Got the S6 of Craig Schrader giving chase. Nick Mills being shown in third. Not a good start for Nick.
No.
As he fades back a little bit. Got to wonder about that front end after that heavy contact with Buddy Sully. Ryan Holler as well now. Oh, big moves being made by Kevin Kyle. The 29 taking a peek around the outside of the 23 of Matthew Zerwick, side-by-side racing. And you can see 2 wide, pretty deep there, 4 rows back.
Kevin Kyle right now, he got that track position by staying out, and lucky for him, he's in a very, very similar situation in terms of tires as everybody else around him. So now we really get to see the speed that 29 has. Already up 6 positions from where he started the last restart, which was intense. So great job so far by Kyle. We've said we want to keep our eye on Iverson. So far, no indication that 13 has fresh tires, but we'll have to keep seeing. Here he is on the bottom, but oh man, that may be Freshies, Mean Gene. Look at that.
Yeah, I watched him a couple of turns ago make that same move. He's passing Redinger. He's getting up onto the rear quarter of Furrow now, and then 3 cars ahead of them. Iverson doing all of this outside the draft, not receiving any help. So he's making ground in the turns and then losing on the straightaways. Kind of what Blaney must have felt like racing against those 2311 Toyotas just this last week at Phoenix. Cheating.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, yeah,
cheating.
Exactly. I mean, it was pretty insane what Blaney had to deal with there. Jeez, I mean, not to mention his pit crew actively doing their best to lose in that race. But you are seeing Iverson do that. And I think what indicates that those are new tires, Mean Gene, is on older ones, running that glued to the bottom line in a pack like he's in, it would be a death wish. You would be getting that door opened on you, and you'd be letting everybody through it. I mean, Iverson currently running, it looks like in 12th place, I'm sorry. I mean, one big check up there can throw him all the way back to 15th, 16th, if not worse. But Iverson, the only car, will go on this wide view here using that very, very bottom.
Meanwhile, up front, Nick Mills has taken the lead from Nate Lesko. Nick Mills now the number 20 driver being shown in the lead. Nick Mills is the highest driver in the regular season points without a win. So I called it last week. I said this was Nick's race to win. If lightning struck and it all ended, boy, I need to go buy a lottery ticket.
I know, right? Nick Mills, not hugely surprising to see him the best points finisher without a win yet, and I doubt we'll be able to say that for much longer, me and Gene. Over here, we got a great battle for third place between the S6 and Steve Lewis in the 88. Not Captain Crunch today, he's working for the National Guard, but you saw it there, Mean Gene, a little bit of a momentum loss, and that opens the door for Ryan Holla.
Yeah, it's so easy on that bottom to watch. See, look at the car come up, and there's nothing you can do, and you just hope that the guy on the top is going to give you enough respect to give you the space, or he might suffer the wrath of a little bit of an incident. Lewis, of course, is 11th. Lewis 11th in points, so got a lot to race for. Applegate, wow, what a move.
We said we were waiting for someone to use the Larson line, Mean Gene, and no surprise there. The first to bite, Grant Applegate, the king of the top here, and damn, did he make that thing work. He ripped that, and you see the benefit of the top, especially 24 laps into a run. You are turning the wheel less, and you are on way more of the throttle than your competitors. But look at this now, Mean Gene. Grant Applegate being very conscious of his tire wear. We always talk about this too, is the S6 hits the wall there, but the bottom always better for tire wear, the top better for track position, better for offense. So here is Applegate trying to kill two birds with one stone.
Now, I hate to keep harping on it, but let's go back to Iverson. He's coming on up a big group of drivers right here. Iverson already up to 9th now, and here he comes with Stinson. He already got into Stinson a little bit earlier in the race, but with those newer tires, he can hug that line, and then you can just see the two wide in front of him of Kevin Kyle, and I believe that is Steve Lewis as well.
Correct.
Little contact there, little three wide behind him. Let's have a big party here on lap number 25.
Wherever Tony Iverson seems to be, chaos seems to follow. Right now,
there it
no
is. Look, he's going to touch
exception.
him.
Oh my goodness. And here we go. We're going to likely be three wide going into one, and it may be the same case in front of them. Nope, they get their heads on.
Stinson said no. Stinson knows. He's already got a half a tombstone in that car. He doesn't need the full tombstone.
Yeah, exactly. We still got over 100 to go in this thing. Stinson very much looking at the grand scheme. That wide shot, love that shot with them coming straight at you. But one thing to look at next time you guys all get to see that is just how tight and really a combination of loose that these cars are getting out of two towards that wall. And really what it normally is, or if it's anything like the ARCA cars we just drove, me and Gene, is it's loose about halfway through the corner, and then it immediately tightens you up and you shoot up that racetrack.
Yeah, and of course ARCA cars handle a little bit different. You here with these next gen cars, I really do see more of an opportunity to modulate the throttle.
Yes.
You can really use a whole lot more of that heel toe, and break it up. You know, even though it looks like it's just one big turn, it's really not. There are a couple of apexes for you to identify, and that's when we're going to see the faster drivers or how you save your tires. Right there, look at Kenneth Reddinger trying to make the outside work. Lewis deciding to be very aggressive there on the apron. Lewis right now, I think, is feeling the pressure of the drivers and battling hard. Lesko, though, he wants it back.
That was a nasty pass, and I mean that was a compliment by Nate Lesko. Let's go back real quick since we're a little bit of distance. Look at this battle, Mean Gene, between the two leaders of this race. This was nuts. Here these guys are. Lesko really trying to get to that quarter panel, get close enough to him. And this is about to be going through 3 and 4. Lesko's going to shoot the bottom. He's going to pull side by side with Nick Mills, who Nick Mills, you can see, gets in a little bit deep there. Has to check up halfway through the corner. Loses the momentum that he should have at the top. It's no longer with him. And then this move by Lesko, Mean Gene, this was something.
Yeah, this is the driving we've seen a lot this season. We saw it last week at Richmond. We saw it in week 3 as well when Applegate took his win going door-to-door battling with Lesko. So we have seen a lot of door banging, not spinning. Again, big difference between just straight spinning somebody and then just banging for position as you're trying to establish, no, you're not going to pinch me on the bottom, and no, you're not going to deny me entry going into the turn. by being under me. So great racing here. Everybody keeping it on the green. But you're right. Let's go, Nick Mills. They're having a hell of a battle right here. Completion of lap number 30.
And now, just like that, Grant Applegate joining the party. He is up to Nick Mills. At the same time, Lesko has already opened up a 1.2 second advantage over these two. I mean, I can tell you right here, visually, Mean Gene, that 20 at Nick Mills is ultra tight. That thing is plowing up the racetrack. You can see it right there about mid-corner. You really want to be straddling one of those seams in the track, those lines you see going up and down the racetrack. That is your line. That kind of dictates your 1, 2, and 3 line. And Nick Mills, you can really use that as a judgment point, and just look how unstable that thing is as he's going to try to drive it down now, but no momentum, Mean Gene, none.
Hey, do me a favor. Let's get a close-up of that front end of Nick Mills. Remember, on that restart, he really hit Buddy Sully hard.
It's messed
and
up.
I'm curious. Yeah, to me, it looks like he does have a little bit of damage that could easily affect the aero and have affected the tire wear.
Right, and that's a really good point. Nick Mills with really impressive speed with that damage, but a lot of times he won't notice it. There's no way to notice it until you take those tires off and find out the hard way, but you could be using a lot more tire wrestling that car around the racetrack with that damage.
And here we go, Tony Iverson. Remember, he did take tires. And here he is now making the move. He's got Kevin Kyle in tow. Mills in total triage mode, just trying to hold on. No caution scheduled for the stage break at 68. It's for stage points. This is just run it straight through. So Nick Mills basically begging for a caution. And here we are on lap number 34. No caution in sight. Up front, Lesko feeling good. Has that 9/10 of a second lead over Applegate, who's now in the clear. Iverson about 7/10 of a second back. So starting to see things spread apart. All the way back to Mills, who's just kind of fading away as he sees Kevin Kyle zip around him. Justin Parham and Chase Stinson. Those guys got second and third last week. Here they are today running 6 and 7. That Team Venom really coming on strong here toward the end of the season. Good showing by those boys.
Venom really starting to feel like the backpack racing of MRL, Mean Gene. And what I mean by that is I don't think there's any team out here working as well as a unit as Venom has been lately. They are so hard to beat individually, but here it is again, Parham Stinson working together, staying together, not racing one another, and using what is so unbelievably important at this racetrack, the draft. And look at how they just got a 2-for-1 special on Nick Mills there. You see Stinson trying to complete the pass, and what I think you'll see here soon is likely Parham duck down one of these front or back straightaways to give his teammate that draft and suck him back up to him. A great job so far by Team Venom as you see Nick Mills continue to go down this field. And there's one thing I'm noticing here too, Mean Gene. I'll see if I can get an angle of this. Yeah, here we go, Nick Mills. I don't think Nick Mills had any intentions of running the top. I think the damage has kind of put him in that box, Mean Gene. I think he planned on running the bottom here. This is Atlanta. You know, a lot of people have their own plan. And the reason why I think I know that is Nick Mills is turning in too late to the top. There it is right there, Mean Gene. He is turning in far too late, and there's the wall hit. All of that, I mean, a lot of it's because of the damage, and Nick Mills is such a great driver. It's not like he doesn't know how to do this, but he probably wasn't practicing this as much as he was other lines, and he doesn't seem to have it on lock. We'll see it here again. That is about 20 yards too late, and this late in the run, that makes all the difference in the world.
Yep. You know what he should have done? He should have got one of them videos from Jordan Fisher.
Videos.
And look at this. Redinger into the back of Mata. They touch again. Redinger continues, as does Mata, but little bit of contact there by MC Motorsports number 16 and the Team Venom 42. Woo!
Well, we will take a look at it, me and Gene. I wanted to know if Mata came down or if Redinger filled a gap. All that is all on Michael Mata from that view. We'll see if the rear chase view lies. I'm sorry, the far chase view lies, but did you see what I saw there?
Go back, do it again.
Oh, here we go, Mata. Oh, that gap closed up quick. Oh, Redinger does. I think I know what happened. I think that was a racing deal. I think Redinger thought there was enough time to square up and push him.
Yeah.
Certainly, I mean, we know Redinger. He doesn't do egregious or malicious things like that. Redinger is an aggressive driver. When you see Redinger in a wreck like that, it's normally because of aggression. But yeah, that was just two guys going for a very similar spot, trying to work together, and it doesn't always work out. We saw the same thing happen with teammates on our last restart, and while all that went down, we had a pass for the lead. Grant Applegate, defending champ, back to the lead.
Not a surprise. Applegate running about 2.3 of a second faster than Nate Lesko. Lesko just kind of let him go by. Did not want to do battle here on lap number 41. Instead, discretion, the better part of valor, lets him slip right on by. Applegate, Lesko, Tony Iverson in third has now closed that gap to about 1 second with those faster tires. Then you can see Kevin Kyle, Parham, and Stinson together. And now Redinger is about 1.3 seconds back from his two Phenom teammates. Remember, he was just caught up in that incident with Michael Mata, costing him a little bit of space. Nick Mills now holding on as best he can in 8th. And then Lewis coming up on Mills relatively quickly. Ryan Holler running in 41. You can see he's faded just a little bit, his lap time compared to Lewis. So we'll see what the 41 can do. Oh,
but
he's spicy there.
With a loose moment, I think he's getting lapped there. He is, Mean Gene. Maybe he was actually getting him space and it just looked a little bit worse. I hear contact in the wall. I think it was Mills again getting a little bit tight. And will the real 56 please stand up? Because I think he's here.
No, Matt Novella, that's right, New York native, trying to get her done there, running that high line. I hope he got the memo that Nick Mills is off pace because he could close. Oh, well, he got the memo to hit the wall, I guess.
And we're at that point, Mean Gene, very close to the stage, but I don't think close enough to where you'd want to push it. I think it's got to be time for tires soon. You can see these drivers are sick and tired of having these things on their car. They're going to want them off as soon as possible. They're just waiting for the first person to bite. A little bit surprising that the guys, 20 on back, haven't yet 3 wide here. Matt Novella, look at this.
Yeah, these guys are about 1.8 seconds off the pace of their best lap. So they're ready for it. The other driver is the 41 of Ryan Holler. He's just lost 5 places in the last lap and a half. So really suffering the effects of those tires. Either that or he knew all this was about to go down. Yeah. That's Eric Gambrell in that 77. Novella in the 56. Gambrell says old tires, 3 wide, not a problem, as he's zipping it across the start-finish line going into 1.
You know how sometimes you're on the track, Mean Gene, and you see a certain group and you're like, you know what? I'll wait.
Yeah, right there, like Novella, Gambrell. I wish Iverson was in there.
Yep. These guys are all great drivers. This is all love, but man, are they some of the more aggressive ones.
Yeah, and especially on the older tires.
Lewis gonna
Meanwhile, pits are opening up. Yeah, Louis and Nesco taking this opportunity. And you know what? Why not? You're in a group of 5 wide kamikaze drivers. Go ahead, bring it in, get those freshies. As I said, 1.7 seconds off their best lap at this point. So if you're in your fuel window, come in, get those tires. Everybody's going to need them, and put yourself into a good situation to get back out there on the track. We are opening up the pit cycle here on lap number 46. And you know what? This is as good a time as any, I think, to give a shout out to one of our sponsors. How about that? Sim and Destroy Racing. Sim and Destroy Racing, Kevin Kyle's latest endeavor, merchandise company. Kevin Kyle bringing you all the shirts that you would love. And now he has just opened up individual driver shirts. That right. You want your name, you want your livery on a shirt, you can reach out to Sim and Destroy, and you can get 5 of them bad boys for $100. It's $40 for the first shirt if you got one. It's $25 a shirt after that if you get less than 4. But if you get 5, you can get it for just $100. That's right. Give them to your friends for stocking stuffers at Christmas. Wrap yourself at the next NASCAR track, Sim and Destroy Racing.
That is a great idea. Something that I've always wanted to. Oh, as Kevin Kyle, Mr. Sim and Destroy, nearly Sims and Destroys himself there. I'm gonna.
Sim and destroyed the grass.
He did. Yeah. It's gonna be curious to see if there's a penalty there, Mean Gene. KK, one of those Dalton Geyer-esque drivers that you can always expect to do the opposite of everybody else. So not hugely surprising to see an early pit stop there. And here comes Alex Hillman of VRN/Daily Drivers Inc. Hillman doing such a great job both in the booth and on the track. And the caution is out.
Oh, no.
Bev with an issue, Mean Gene, and what is with cautions coming out at the worst possible times lately?
Yeah. We saw that earlier in the DDIRL race. Everybody was on a fuel strat, it seemed like, and the top 4 were all very happy. And then it came out, blew the race open, and we saw certain drivers who will go without name go from top 3 down to 9th. Boy,
Yeah,
lots of
certain
cussing on the radio.
Certain drivers would have won that race, and then that caution
Would have
ruined
won
it.
that race. Would have won that race. Would he have won that race?
Yeah, he sure thought so. I mean, Mean Gene, that
Look at
was
Mickelson saying, not me. I've
not
already
again.
been in one.
Yep. And there's that Wounded Warrior Project 01 into the wall. Such a shame there from Jay Bev. Maybe we can get him in the booth during this caution. But yeah, I mean, I can't put too much of that on Mata. The reason why that closing speed was so different, Mean Gene, pretty obvious. Fresh tires.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's gonna be
exactly
everybody else.
right. Everybody now will take that opportunity. We're going to see about the waiver rounds. Luckily, that caution came out soon after those first cars came in for those fresh tires. So the cars that came in first will not have old tires. Applegate missing his pit stall. You just saw that here live on the channel. So let's see who comes out before him. Other cars coming in after, but there it is. Iverson out first, and also looks like Justin Parham, maybe Stinson as well. So Applegate losing 3 spots because of that missed pit stall. So Blaney had his crew trying to take away his race yesterday at Phoenix. Here tonight at Legacy, we see Applegate putting his own handicap on his race result. So lap number 51, we see all those boys come into pit, fresh tires for a lot of guys. And then we're looking as well at the drivers that are taking that wave around who pitted back in the mid 40s. So as that pace car leads us around, we're just waiting to see as it all tightens up. You can still see some cars ahead of Tony Iverson waiting for their wave around. Yep, and there they go. That looks like there they are, and they finally go. There he is, Kevin Kyle getting the wave around, the S5 of Craig Schroeder, the 41 of Holler, Louis, Nick Mills, John Beverly did get out ahead of the pace car. Looks like Colin Bollinger, Michael Mata, Buddy Sully, the 08 of Hillman. There's Brandon Guerin as well. So lots of cars had to take that wave around as we finally cycle back around. But big story of that pit cycle had to be Applegate misses the stall, loses 3 spots in that confusion. Still in 4th, but man, you come in first, you come out 4th.
How about
you
Lesko,
gotta feel
Mean
like
Gene?
Tom Cruise.
How about Nate Lesko leading the race, or second place, I should say, all the way down to 17th just for an ill-timed pit stop?
Yeah, that's painful. He's one of the guys that had to take the wave around just to stay on the lead lap. Now, luckily, only 5 laps have been put on those tires. So
Right.
not
That's
too
big for
bad of
him.
a situation. Away we go. Tony Iverson with the lead. Grant Applegate directly behind him. Parham and Stinson did not get a good start, or they chose to let those two, they okie dokie, just to get rid of those 2 guys, knowing the speed and aggression that Lesko and Applegate have showed each other all year long. Why not let those 2 just go away and get away from it?
I guess, but man, it's hard to get that trap position. I call that an okie donkey, if that's what they did.
Okie donkey.
Because you got to make sure you can get them when they're available to you, Mean Gene. As you can see, just like that, what happened to Nate Lesko, how quickly this can be torn away from you. One thing that I think we're going to I'm going to be personally very curious to follow is, like you brought up, Nate Lesko at a 5-lap disadvantage, which sounds insignificant, but we're going to find out right now if it is or not. So if there is that late race restart, Lesko may know something these boys don't.
Well, and remember, we did see an announcement from MRL officials earlier that an extra set of tires was given to the competitors here today. So everybody will have that extra set for a late pit stop if it goes that way. Meanwhile, watching Lesko, he basically let Bollinger go around the outside, take that position. So Lesko just going to try to start hitting his marks, I think, and just make his way through this fuel cycle. I don't think we're going to see much out of Lesko. I think he's forfeiting the stage. Again, points will be awarded to the top 5 at the completion of lap 68. But I think at this point, Lesko's thinking big picture. Why put yourself in a bad situation? Make it to that next set of tires, save tires, then start passing people in, 12, 15 laps when we see the tire wear.
26 of Hunter Hall into the wall. And you saw it get really jumbled up there, entering one. It's not figured out yet. Mickelson there getting shoved to the inside of the track. These guys trying to figure it out. But I very much agree with you about what's going on with Lesko back there, Mean Gene. When you have that situation he's in at that 5-lap disadvantage, you pretty much have 2 boulevards you can go down there. One is what I kind of insinuated towards. Go for it. Find out what that 5-lap difference means, if it will matter later. Or save now and maybe try to make up those 5 laps on tire wear while these boys are doing what they're doing right now, dueling it out, and you are actively saving.
And at the front of that pack, speaking of dueling it out, look at the 59 of Jay Dargert and the 42 of Kenneth Redinger. Dargert not willing to give up that 6th spot, not willing to slow down and get in line. There's 3 Venom guys. Oh, no!
Gamble and Milliken. Gamble through the grass. So far, so good on terms of a caution, but he's up across the field. Big hit! Steve Lewis! Oh, no, the 57 of Garand.
Louis!
And yeah, I apologize. I thought Dagger was Garand earlier. That, unfortunately, is Garand with the blown engine. Oh, no, Mean Gene. And that's all.
Now that is not what Brandon Guerin needed. Brandon back full time.
Oh my!
There was only about 15 drivers that could legitimately talk about points. Guerin, one of them. Ugh.
We're green, Mean Gene.
Oh, you know, Gambrel loves it because he's still rolling on the apron.
Yeah, I got to do that above the apron. Did he not go to the 13 racing school?
No, come on, man. You got to go. You got to go to the. There's a 300 level course for that, dude.
Yeah, this guy is clearly just bring out cautions 101. Watch him be stupid again, Mean Gene, and do it below the apron like a loser would.
Yeah, try it. You got to get back up on the apron and park that right
front. Wait for the field to go by, and then take that hard left for us, right for you.
This is terrible. That's the exit too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the exit of 2. You were dead on correct, Mean Gene, and Gambrel, that thing not to take the toe, which I would have taken the toe at this point.
Well, we're still green here on lap number 61. Tony Iverson with a 9/10 of a second lead over Grant Applegate. Applegate does have a 1.3 second lead over Parham. And then that's where the racing begins. Parham, Stinson, Redinger, the 3 Team Venom teammates running 3, 4, and 5. Jay Dargert now falling into line in 6th, but he's under attack as Hunter Hall continues to look up, look down, look high, look low, trying to get around Dargert. This ought to heat up really quick. Dargert's tires have got to be overheated the way he rode that inside, racing Redinger for those 5 laps on that restart. Wondering how long it'll take for the 59 to get his tires back under normal temp, and if Hunter Hall can take advantage. Behind them, look at the battle. Colin Bollinger now making his way all the way up to around 9th, looking on that outside with the 56 of Matt Novella underneath him. Lynott, and then finally here it is, the 5 of Brad Furrow, now getting to try to find that outside lane. We talk so much about Grant Applegate riding that Larson line, but remember, Brad Furrow, I think he's a close second on guys that can make that outside lane work.
Furrow can do it with the best of them. I completely agree. Another driver that deserves a shout out here is Alex Hillman, currently working back from a lap down, but he is the lucky dog car. And one thing that he's got to know right now, Mean Gene, is man, oh man, I got that lap back. Look where I'm running. Look what I can do. This car is fast still, so the 08 to Hillman, all he needs to do is get that lap back. And speaking of drivers who have had misfortune, and since we didn't get a caution, let's take a look at what happened between Gambrel and Milliken that eventually got far worse. As here we go at 4. Some contact there. Gambrel across, well, almost across the grass. Milliken does some little monster car, some trophy trucking, and then Gambrel locks it down. Massive hit for Lewis, and all this happens below the apron, Mean Gene.
Yep. Yeah, what happens below the apron stays below the apron.
And it stays green. Wow, that was not what Gambrel, Lewis, Garin need to see. That has taken Garin and Lewis out of this race. So very, very unfortunate. Gambrel looks like he is in the pits getting some damage repair. Lewis in front of him, so Lewis not giving up yet. We'll have to see. Up front, or I shouldn't say up front, over towards 14, Nate Lesko maybe feels like he has done what he needs to get those tires back to even with his competitors, starting to march forward through this field.
And that's what we expected from the number 10, one-time winner this year, and now there he is right behind. This is a little tight group here. Mickelson and Vulpes, both playoff drivers. Brad Furrow, we've got a top 10 out of Furrow on the year, so he is very good on this style of track. So Lesko still going to need to be patient if he's going to make his way around this group right here. We are on lap number 67. Lap 68 is where the points will be awarded to the top 5. No caution is scheduled, so we're just going to be quick on the draw to figure it out. But it would appear, unless Colin Bollinger can get by Redinger here very soon, I think the top 5 are almost settled. Look at Bollinger making that charge on the outside.
This is the white flag for the stage here, the completion of lap 60, I believe, Mean Gene. And sometimes it's different since it's one of those half numbers, but usually it's the one after. We will see, and Bollinger is certainly racing like it is, looking to the outside of Redinger, and this is a matchup we don't get to see enough of between these two top drivers.
Yeah, you know, both of these guys have won championships. Redinger, the ARCA King.
Gets it done.
Bollinger is the Xfinity King and has a next-gen Monday Night Cup on him. And there it is. He takes away 5th from him. Looking around the outside. Iverson first. Applegate second. Here comes Parham, Stinson, and Colin Bollinger going to pick up that 1 point for the 5th place in the stage. Racing continues here on lap number 69 now. And you know what? Halfway point. This is a great point, I think, to go ahead and give a little bit more attention to our league sponsor, or to our race sponsor. This is the Stream to Serve 135. Stream to Serve, of course, is a service that gives you the opportunity to make donations to the Wounded Warrior Project. Thank you to MRL and Stream to Serve for their sponsorship of this race, but their sponsorship is going toward the Wounded Warrior Project. Did you know every day 75 warriors and family members sign up to receive critical support and services provided by Wounded Warrior Project? More than 1 in 4 warriors have had suicidal thoughts in the past 12 months. For every $500 raised, at least 3 warriors can receive a mental health session. 76% of warriors self-reported experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, as a result of their service. Your donation will go directly to the assistance that these warriors need. They've given so much, given a little bit today, not as much as they have given throughout their contract, their service. Thank you so much to Stream to Serve and MRL for sponsoring today's race in honor of the Wounded Warrior Project.
Yes, and just a quick reminder that QR code on the bottom right is to donate, as well as the link in the description for this live broadcast contains that as well. So big shout out to the league for doing that, and in advance appreciate all the donations that I am confident we'll get, because this league is incredible inside and out. And Mean Gene up front, speaking of 2 incredible dudes who are great off track and even better on track, Grant Applegate is in a different universe than his teammate right now.
Oh yeah, Applegate having a great time out there, closing the gap on Tony Iverson. Last line, Applegate was about 1/10 of a second faster, and we've seen that consistently as he's closed the gap on Tony Iverson. Oh, coming to the start-finish line. He's taking a peek. right into the dirty air.
One
Gonna
more
stay
set.
high.
This will do it. I guarantee you, if he can nail this, this will do it. These runs are enormous out of these corners that Applegate's getting. He just is gonna have to make it happen on the bottom. But look at that run.
Oh, and he does. He gets to the quarter. He cuts to the door. Iverson now forced. Iverson takes the middle lane, not comfortable with going up high, gets a little dirty air. Oh, he almost gives a tombstone. Loose.
And here we go again. I like this for Applegate. I think he'd rather be here. He's better on the top. All he needs to do is not let that slide job happen. Remember, these are teammates now. Air's great. And so here goes Applegate. He's going to duck low again, Mean Gene. We're going to have to see the same thing. He's got to make it stick through 3 and 4.
And you know what he's not doing is he's not denying Iverson entry into the turn. So that's where the kid gloves are being shown, and that's why you keep seeing Iverson able to maintain that position with him. And now they're going to switch roles up high. Applegate now in that second lane. So Applegate not running the bottom lane as effectively as Iverson did. Iverson not running the outside lane as effectively as Applegate did. What does this do? It allows that Team Venom guys to start to slowly creep back in. And don't forget, Colin Bollinger, King of the North, now up into 4th as he got the better of the exchange when he and Lesko on that restart both went different directions.
Pretty sure the way you just narrated that was the internal, as you see Bob Applegate get a little bit tight there into the wall. But I think what you just said there, Mean Gene, was the internal thought process of both the 13 and 14 race cars there. Because I loved what you said about the amount of room they were giving each other and really not trying to shallow up each other's exits and entries too much. And that was keeping that lead over Parham to about 1.8. But then I saw it go down to about 1.6. And right when that happened, what happens? Same time that you say, not only these guys are giving each other space, but they're putting each other in the lines they don't want to run. Iverson doesn't want to be up top, and Applegate does not want to be on the bottom. And they were forcing each other into that. And then they're back single file, and that lead has swelled back up to 1.8.
Yeah, you could see when they were doing that foolishness, they actually were 0.4 of a second slower than Parham and Bollinger. So they quickly rectify that situation. But here we go again. The charge is on. Applegate thinking maybe it's my time. Going to get right up to that quarter as he's racing. Takes it down low. But again, not denying the lane. Iverson not as high as he should be. And Applegate not as low as he should be. So both of these guys really great on their preferred line, but not. And here it is again.
Had to check
again. They're just both trying to ride in the second lane. That's.
And like you said, they're making too many sacrifices for one another. What a god awful entry angle from Applegate. He had no hope before it even started. It was over before it started, Eugene. He entered that corner about 2 lanes down. What'd you think was going to happen? Of course he gets tight. And what did Iverson do? He saw that and he steered down the corner. Brilliant.
So here's my advice. If you're Tony Iverson, you just squint your eyes and you pretend that the 14 is actually the 53, and you know what to do. If you're Grant Applegate, you squint your eyes and you pretend the 13 is the number 10, and you know what to do.
Yep. Hey, sorry, the Dr. Pepper cars are purple sometimes. I didn't know.
Yeah, and what that would do, of course, is turn the lead over to Justin Parham.
Exactly. Signed, sealed, and delivered from Mr. Justin Parham.
Yeah, did that, and Parham wouldn't mind at all. Colin Bollinger 4, Jay Stinson 5, Jay Redinger 6, so Kenneth Redinger 6. So you do see the 3 Venom drivers all in the top 6. Behind them, Matt Novella still in the picture. Matt, of course, perennial playoff driver, is the number 56, having a great run once again here today. Nate Lesko now making his way up into the top 8. So, yeah, Lesko not fading away. In fact, he's running this pretty much the same lap times as the 2 leaders when they're not dueling each other. So Lesko having a good time back there behind them. Jay Dargert has held on to the top 9. Remember, Dargert was racing very hard with Redinger, heated his tires up, and then faded a little bit. But now that number 59 Marine Corps Chevrolet finds himself in that 9th place, deep in the run. All these guys pitting back on lap number 50. So they put about 32 laps on those tires. Kyle rounding out the top 10. When you're talking about tires, though, you still got to keep an eye. Nate Lesko does have 5 lap older tires.
And less fuel.
And how about Michael Mata as well?
Yeah, 41.
He's in 11th, but he pitted on 41. I'm hearing calls for the pits.
Not surprising.
Who is thinking about it?
And I'm sure Lesko would love not to, Mean Gene. And you got to remember, I mean, I'm sure you're thinking, you know, Lesko pitting back on lap 45, the guys around him on 50, besides Mata, thinking, why not come in with them? Even with that, even if you're not taking tires, he can't. If he wanted that lap back, if he wanted that wave around, he had to not pit. So Lesko had a 5-lap disadvantage. I'm sure he would have loved a caution to even himself out with everybody, but he is doing a good job. He's being very, very patient here, Mean Gene. He is not throwing this race away by being impulsive. So Lesko right now just needs to see where the cards fall and just continue to put in exceptional laps the way he is. Parham starting to reel in Applegate a little bit, who is falling off. Yeah, just a little bit. And I'll talk about myself in third person here real quick. I think Calgill and Panzarella, who just ran this Atlanta race, showed a great example of how to work together as teammates when you have a chance at a win. And the agreement between those two drivers was we do not race each other until there are 2 to 3 to go and we have enough room behind us to where we can. That agreement seems to have come a little bit late for this group, and I think it's important to remember we've never seen Iverson have to operate really on a team. I know he was in high side last year, but they didn't race like a team.
No, they had a gentleman's agreement of we all want to win, and that's that. And we'll just collect points for our finishes. There was never any egregious contact between Thornton or David Owens or Tony Iverson. But on the other hand, we did see contact plenty on accident.
Yeah, racing too hard, rooting tires.
Yeah, you raced too hard. The space wasn't given. And that's definitely a difference of what we just saw between Iverson and Grant Applegate right there. Very interesting. That did allow Parham to close the gap. But you can see just how close Parham is now. But right behind them, look at Colin Bollinger as well. So Bollinger pushing up all those guys running on 32-lap-old tires. 37-lap-old tires. So only a matter of time till something is done about that. And there's the pass right there.
Oh, that's a lap car, it appears. That's a 27 of
that's
Zach
Zach
Winstead. Yeah, I think dealing with some damage is Winstead. It looks like he's actually going to bring it down this time. So Winstead pitting back on lap 50. I'm very, very curious about the fuel situation here, Mean Gene, because if we see Iverson, Applegate, all our leaders come in together before there's, 44 to go, they can't make it.
No, that's exactly the situation you're looking at is they got to press this thing as far as they can. All right, let's go. Calling for the pit. Remember.
Wow. Okay, so that's 5 more.
Let's go. Yeah.
They can't make it.
So they got about 5 more.
I don't think anybody can make it if we stay green.
That's great news for Lesko and Mata.
Did you see that with Soli and Lesko? Oh, he called it, you said? So, Listen, buddy. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Jay Darger going to come into the pits as well. 59 running a great race here today, pitting at the same time as Nate Lesko. Doesn't get much better than that.
No, Dagger doing an incredible job. Can't wait for the day that it's not on a road course, which is harder to do on a road course. He proved to us that it's never really his fault. But I cannot wait to see Darger get that finish he deserves on an oval. Would not be surprised to see them string together here in the latter end of the season and to see that driver in the chase. Dagger, it's such a strong driver.
Yeah, Brian Holler, also number 41, coming down into the pits for this cycle as well. Keeping an eye on the tire. Looks like all these guys taking 4 tires on this stop.
Yeah, I feel like you got to, Mean Gene, you got to assume this is the last one. And if they can't make it, like we're speculating that they cannot, I mean, you know what that last pit stop is. It is a minuscule amount of fuel, right? It's enough to where you could probably drink it and not die. It's all you're going to take to get in and out of that pit road. So this is your last opportunity as far as these boys are concerned to take 4 tires.
Yeah, you know who's definitely wanting to see the leaders pit is got to be that S6 of Craig Schroeder. He would be the next car to go a lap down. And there it is. I can hear Applegate.
This is going to get interesting.
I'm sorry, Iverson. Iverson making the call. He's loose. He's into the apron.
Really hard. Really. Oh, no.
And then he almost took out Parham.
He did. Oh, it is jacked up, Mean Gene. It's destroyed.
He lost an extra tooth.
He did. He did. He needs to fix that front end because it keeps playing the part like Sim destroyed us. Let's take a look at what happened there, Mean Gene.
Looks like Parham and Mickelson also coming in as we take a look at this replay. Pits lighting up.
Gonna have to just do this the old-fashioned way here. And
this is the before and after.
You have exactly. It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie. You have to go hard here, Mean Gene, but you gotta not lose the race for yourself. It was over before it started. Look at this car right now. See that rear end? Not at all. Yeah, it was over before it started. It was loose. He never had it underneath him at any point.
That's when you go like, hey, what's your brake bias? It's too low.
Exactly. Or, oh my God, I had my brake bias set too low and I could have moved it up 3. And that is extremely significant hit. We've seen Iverson elect to normally fix that damage, but we're in green flag and he did not fix it. There he is. I wouldn't have either, but there is a 0% chance that car is even drivable.
We're gonna keep an eye on the track times of Tony Iverson. He is a lap down because of that cycle, but only shown with the 15.4, which is your average 4-tire pit stop.
It's gonna be Stinson this time, Mean Gene.
Yeah, I'm keeping a close eye. Iverson creeping around. He is not enjoying himself.
No, he likely is not. I'm assuming married to the top lane would be my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, what that tells me, Mean Gene, is that she is sick and tired of turning. that girl does not want to turn anymore. Let's see here. He's going to try to follow Bollinger. And I'm sure Dirty Air, just a blast for that 13 now. I mean, Iverson, the driver he is, doing a phenomenal job. But you could see it right there, ultra tight. And Mean Gene, don't forget, you know what else is on that race car? Brand new tires.
Yeah, he's 0.5 of a second off. Just that first time around, which is 1.4 seconds off his fastest lap ever.
So here comes the blend. This is Parham. Parham is going to have an enormous advantage, and one guy who will too, and he's moved it down to 3 laps now. So it was 5 before. The disadvantage was 5. Now it's 3. Lap 89 was when Lesko pit. Lap 92 was when Parham did. There is a 0% chance Lesko can make this thing on fuel if we stay green. I'd say there's a 50% chance Parham could. What do you think?
We're going to have to see. Meanwhile, drivers like Stinson and Redinger, they pushed it all the way to 95, as did Kyle Lynott.
So about 41.
So we'll keep an eye on those 3 guys as far as how they can go. Right now, lead turns over to Justin Parham. The number 19 Chevrolet has about a 1-second lead over Lesko, and Parham came in 3 laps afterward. So he's got better tires and he's got that lead, but what he doesn't have is a partner to play with. Lesko trying to close the gap. You can see Colin Bollinger as well in the picture, and then Michael Mata, who pitted on 85. Iverson still trying to make it work, but 0.7 of a second slower than the other cars that just take the same tire fuel strategy. So Iverson really suffering, and you know that problem's just going to exacerbate as this run continues.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse for Iverson. The only thing that I think he could hope for would be a caution to give him time to fix that, but then he loses all his track position, and I would be shocked if he could get that car fixed in enough time to stay in the lead lap, even under yellow, Mean Gene. So I think it is a matter of hoping it stays green, and you know, there might be one small silver lining I can think of, and that is that thing is so damn slow now, and it's so forced to be so slow that he might be able to unintentionally really save enough fuel to not have to stop again, because that thing can't be on the gas too often, as you can see, as you're going to watch Dagger blow his doors off here. That's going to be for only 7th, though, so Iverson's going to fall down for 6th, I should say, so Iverson's going to fall down to 7th. It's not that bad yet. A top 15 still very much in the cards for that 13 race car. Let's go back to Parham real quick and talk about him, Mean Gene. He is losing time to Lesko. I'm assuming Parham has to know the situation. He has to know when Lesko pit. He has to know, I don't care how close he gets to me. I'd love for him to get closer to me. I'm saving he's not. He can't make it. I might be able to. So I'm thinking that is the situation, and you are right too about him not really having that help anymore like he did with Stinson. But what I also like about that, Mean Gene, is Stinson has newer tires than Parham. Stinson can be on the offense, and if there's somebody else that might have something for Parham, Stinson can stall them. Stinson can help play teammate and can help play wingman and give Parham that clean air that is going to be so advantageous in these last 35 laps.
Also, big news from the pits. The number 14 of Grant Applegate busted for speeding. Ends up having to serve a big old penalty, and that costs him dearly.
That is huge, Mean Gene, and we see two of our dominant drivers blink, and that you can't blink when you have a dominant race car. I think I've told this to you privately, but there's one thing I tell myself every single time I have a race car as fast as what Grant Applegate and Tony Iverson did: don't beat yourself. Don't be the reason you lose. Let somebody else beat you. And both of those drivers today can look in the mirror if they want to know why they didn't win today's race.
Very unfortunate. And funny story, the leader right now, Justin Parham, if things continued, Parham is not eligible for the playoffs. He's one start short.
Oh, he's both one short of both
he's
of those.
He's one short away from making it. So Parham, if he did win, that would be a golden ticket going to nobody, which would be great news for the guys battling for 12th. You know, we're talking about Sanders, Stinson, Holler, Steve Lewis, all of those guys. So they're not wanting a new winner in this battle that's below that point. So good job for Parham. But on the other hand, that still leaves the door open for those other drivers.
It really does. And yeah, when you are one of those cut line drivers, you are very fortunate or very thankful for drivers like Justin Parham coming here to spoil the show. As Lesko, though, is really closing the gap, as Bollinger. And I'm going to have to ask you this again, Mean Gene. It's not a drink this time, I don't think. I think maybe it's a popsicle. Do you know what a pull-up is?
A pull-up?
That's what his...
When I was in the Marine Corps, I know what a pull-up is.
Yeah, and I can do about as many as Lesko's number. But that's the snack that's on his car today. A pull-up. I'm assuming it's some sort of device. Like, do you remember those popsicles that you'd push? I think they're called push-ups. You'd like push them up, and they were like yellow and orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of imagining that, but I'm seeing like a chocolate dude or an almond. He really loves those retro snacks, doesn't he?
Very interesting. Brad Furrow came in for the pits, and it looked like he got a penalty.
Oh, no.
And then he came right back in and
he's done,
stopped.
huh? Yeah, he's not on the... not seeing him any... Maybe he got a penalty serving his penalty, which will be enough to make any driver rage quit.
Yeah, so regardless, losing the number 5, unfortunate. 5 was running in the top 15 here today, but that is going to end the day for Brad.
Check out Colin Bollinger to the outside of Nate Lesko. 29 to go. That sounds like Bollinger o'clock to me.
Yeah. Anytime the race is at the end, if he's in that top 3. I mean, remember when he picked up his second win when he bulldogged Iverson and Vulpes to make his way through. So anytime the 53 is on the track, you know, if gap, then fill. If no gap, make gap.
Yep.
And that's what we've seen out of the 53 here late on. Did get the 5-point penalty for a restart contact with Nate Lesko at one point. But here he is closing the gap. Pretty much the same set of tires for these two guys. Bollinger 1 lap fresher, but not enough where you would think it would make a difference. Third place, Nate Lesko can smell the fumes of the two guys in front of him. Would love to see a battle break out between the two. Behind them, Mata and Novella.
Mata
my word. Mata wants a top 5 finish here. He's making it all happen. Then you can see Stinson, Darger battling with Redinger again. So those two guys gonna renew their rivalry. Late race action, Joe Vulpes into the top 10. Tony Iverson still holding on for dear life, but finding himself almost a half a second slower than everybody on the track, just fading backwards. This is going to be a story of what could have been for The Undertaker.
Yeah, like I said, I think a top 15 should be the goal now. I want to go back to our leaders super quick here, me and Gene, because I do like what you said. 1 lap difference, lap 92 when Parham pit, lap 93 when Bollinger pit. And I do agree with you very much that that 1 lap difference will not make a big difference in terms of tires. But you know what it makes a universe's difference with? Fuel. One lap is massive when it comes to fuel, when it comes to being on the razor's edge like we are right now. And you saw Bollinger get close to Parham. I think it was within about 2 tenths. Now it's up to 4. I have an inkling that Bollinger knows the situation here. And he's thinking, why don't I just chill, make sure I'm good, go put some pressure on him once I know I'm good, and run that dude out of fuel.
Yep, and going to come up on a little bit of lap traffic as well to make this interesting.
But listen to that,
you can
Gene,
see
on the clutch. That's the
all
clutch.
the way off.
That is the clutch. He is pulling in the clutch. When you see that white bar there in the middle of his dash completely disappear, that can only happen with the clutch. Important to remember that if you don't pull in the clutch like he is right now, that engine braking will keep your RPMs about that. I want to say that 6,000, 7,000 mark.
Yeah.
But when you pull in that clutch, it completely evaporates. And this is a great time to be doing that because look at Parham in front of him in lap car hell. He's not making good lap time right now.
No, he's got to get by those lap cars and keep it going. I think that's the, 21 Sully?
Yep, and that was Mills first. So Mills now, Bollinger going to side drop Mills. This is a lapped car, Mean Gene.
They're hitting each other. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, those two maybe with some leftover feelings. And then you see Buddy Sully, he's ripping the top there. Sully, another one of our already won this season drivers, absolutely a championship contender. Nick Mills is all over Bollinger.
Yes, he is. He is on that right bumper. He don't mind. He don't mind at all.
Wow. And I think Bollinger going to do anything he can to put a car in between, and it's not going to happen, and he's not going to have a run, and now Nick Mills is. This is not what Bollinger needs. This has opened up a 7/10 of a second lead for Justin Parham.
Parham got to be happy here. Meanwhile, we are on lap number 114, scheduled for 135. And while the action is at its most intense, this is a moment you're going to want to remember. How do you remember these moments? Great question. What you want to do is get a trophy to memorialize all of those instances that you'd love to remember. Best way to do that, get in touch with Kevin Kyle, KK Woodscapes. These guys have been making trophies for years for all the series across the Vortex Racing Network. They make the wood, they paint the wood, they stir the wood with the stain with the wood. Kevin Kyle making these trophies all the way across. If you've got a need, he's got the wood. Reach out for Kevin Kyle and get that wood.
That was probably the best one yet.
Yeah, he's got it for you. Justin Parham, what he's got is a 4/10 of a second lead, slowly watching that gap go back to what it was now that they're through the lap traffic. Sully and Mills gave him the business, but Parham now holding on for dear life. Behind them, Lesko also in fuel-saving mode. Remember, Lesko pit on number 89, so he's got 4 laps less fuel than Colin Bollinger does. Novella having a great run. Stinson and Mata as well. Kenneth Redinger, Joe Volpus, Jay Dargert, and newcomer Jeff Herman rounding out the top 10.
Shout out Jeff Herman. Haven't said that name yet today. We apologize for that. And doing a great job currently rounding out the top 10 in that beautiful Blue Moon machine. That was one of my first favorite beers, me and Gene. Love that stuff. And that's a great looking race car. One thing I want to touch on Lesko real quick too, that I think is a little bit interesting here, is we just saw Bollinger. We were just riding on board with him. He pulled in the clutch. He has a 4-lap advantage over Lesko in terms of when he pit. So if Bollinger's thinking about it, Lesko can't. It's not happening. He's not going to make it on fuel. I would have thought, and I don't know if I would have done it, me and Gene, but the only chance you had was about 3 laps ago. Bring it down, put 4 on it. You're going to go a lap down, but you'll have 4. Maybe if it cycles through, you can get your lap back the hard way. If you get a late race caution, or if these guys have to pit, you may win. So Lesko electing not to do that, which means now Lesko needs a caution.
I would think most of these guys, except
would prefer one, yeah.
Bollinger, Redinger, Volpus,
Let's right on
and
board with
Lynott
Volpus, because he's always up to some
probably
crap.
need it.
Let's right on board with Volpus, because we don't trust Volpus here, do we?
Nope.
So let's watch him clutch, which I guarantee he's going to. And we haven't talked about him today. And Volpus, conservative on the gas, Mean Gene, but not clutching. And I have heard from other drivers, I believe you told me this today, that clutching doesn't work anymore. That off gas or off throttle time is just as good. But one thing that we were seeing Volpus do that tells me he isn't saving is he's downshifting. He's now down to 4th. You'll watch him go back up to 5th here on the front stretch, probably likely around the start-finish line. Probably right now. There it is, 5th gear for Joe Volpus. And then when he enters here, right around probably there now, he'll go down to 4th. No, so that time.
Colin
Volpus
making a move.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go to that. Bollinger going to make a move on the lead. Oh, wow. How did he get there so fast?
Because he's fast.
Oh,
Winter
man.
is coming. Look at that exit speed of Parham.
Yeah, Parham going to try to use that top to his advantage, Mean Gene, and it really worked. Wow, good call there. Wow, he really ripped that top, did Parham, and that is obviously going to be the defensive line here, is going to be the top, and I think the best way, I mean, we all know, and we know the 53 not shy to do it, but the way to do it, Mean Gene, it's going to be a slide job.
Meanwhile, look at Lesko down there battling as well.
Bella.
Applegate's part of that. Applegate trying to get back on his lead lap the old-fashioned way. Sully is also a lapped car.
And there is, Applegate, like you said, trying to get his, oh boy, making this all types of complicated. And we talked about Stinson, Mean Gene, and how Stinson's situation could become advantageous for Parham. That is unfolding here. However, he is too far back to help with Bollinger. It is all up to Justin Parham now. He's going to have to do this alone. 5 seconds is far too much. Stinson, however, I think a podium finish very much in the cards for the driver of the 99.
Yeah, Chase Stinson moved up into 13th in points last week after he got that podium finish. It wherever the hell they were last week, Chicago.
Yeah, they were there. Oh yeah, Chicagoland. They were somewhere. No, we went to Richmond for our league.
Richmond,
yeah.
Boy,
Richmond.
I need reading.
I mean, it's because we cover so many things. That's honestly what it is.
Wow, I really thought Richmond said Chicago.
Look at this.
Without my reading glasses.
Bollinger, Larson.
Look at Applegate getting a push. Oh my God, Applegate pushing the hell out of Jay Stinson right there.
Jeez, Applegate thinking maybe there's a chance to get the lap back the hard way using Jay Stinson as his teammate. Up front though, Bollinger trying some things now, Mean Gene. He is going to go wherever Parham isn't, and he's going to try whatever he thinks Parham can't do. And right now, I think it's the Larson line. And let's see, Parham's going to respond, but look how high Bollinger is willing to go.
Yeah, Bollinger all the way up, and you can see Parham riding in that second lane. That is not where you want to be. Parham now getting caught by the exit speed. Bollinger looking down low. They've got the lap car of Zach Winstead in front of them, and then Sam Milliken down on the apron. Bollinger, he
got it,
holds it. Whoa. And Parham got the dirty air and got loose.
Perfectly placed when you slap that across so quickly, right? Like, Bollinger absolutely shot it up the track, and that is a punch in the face of dirty air that Parham got right there on his chin, and they did a great job navigating themselves around Winstead, and Winstead doing a phenomenal job being predictable.
Well, yep, he stayed out of the way, made that happen, and now we see Colin Bollinger take over the lead. Remember, he won 2 weeks ago at Chicagoland. He won the opener at Charlotte. He and Lesko, the only two-time winners, and he would love to be the first three-time winner. And, you know, Colin's got a lot to prove this year. He was part of the championship 4, watched Applegate take the win as he finished second in that championship race. He won the regular season last year. So Colin, I think, feels the heat of the new drivers. 6 drivers won in the first 6 weeks. So Colin needs this opportunity to reestablish himself as the king. We saw last week a lot of contact, and as he finally was able to get up for a good finish. 2 weeks ago, we saw him with the contact with Iverson, with Joe Volpus, with the 5-point penalty with Lesko. But sometimes that's what it takes. You know, Roy Jones Jr. wrote an awesome song back in the 90s called Y'all Must Have Forgot. And I think that's what we're seeing out of the King of the North right now.
Michael Mata in the pits, Mean Gene. He, I believe, was 4 laps below Lesko. There are 7 to go. Lesko should not be able to make it like we have speculated. That would leave it to where Bollinger and Parham would make it running out of fuel as they cross the start-finish line. So this thing is by no means over yet. We'll have to keep our eye on it. I just had you guys on board with Justin Parham. I didn't see any significant fuel saving outside of staying in 5th, which I would think, as Parham really gets a big chunk of the wall there. But I would think that he would be doing that knowing that Bollinger has the speed. But I agree with what you were just saying a lot there too, me and Gene. This feels like the Colin Bollinger of early 2025 dominating. And the one way that I also very much agree with you, that I know that Bollinger was feeling the heat, feeling the pressure, knowing that this wasn't his league to dominate anymore, was because he wouldn't admit it.
No, exactly. He didn't want to talk about it. He went straight 6-7 on us.
Yep.
And he has to know, though, seeing what we've seen out of Lesko with the 2 wins so far this year, seeing Applegate come in last season, win in his first year, and then look at the other rookies as they're running. You know, you add Mickelson, you add Ryan Holla, you add Lesko. All of a sudden, you've got other guys that can put the heat on folks. Oh, no gas.
I could be wrong. He clutched down the backstretch.
Yeah, but look, 2 dots, that's not good.
Yeah, he is not out of fuel, but he is as close. He is hitting the clutch on straightaways. He is losing positions in a hurry. He is putting laps down that are 2 seconds slower than those around him. And Nate Lesko is on fumes. And that tells us that the majority of this field likely is too. I just heard him sputter. Let's go on board with Bollinger. Bollinger into 1 and 2. He's going to stay in 5th. But, me and Gene, he's going to selectively use the top. That is the longer way around the racetrack. That tells me he's feeling okay.
Yeah, Colin Bollinger. We've seen him win fuel conservation races before.
6 out of fuel.
And so we'll just have to keep monitoring that. Oh, and the 10 way off pace. So Lesko, though, choosing to stay out there right now. Meanwhile, that lead for Bollinger has increased to 1.5 seconds as Parham just trying to make his way around. 0.4 of a lap slower was Parham than Bollinger that last lap. He was also 0.4 of a lap slower than Novella, Stinson, and Redinger, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place drivers behind him. Still a good lead for Parham over those 3, but gonna need the fuel to make it to the end. Up front, Colin Bollinger. Boy, he has made his bed, put the women and children to rest, and all that is left now is to see, can he make it around? Last lap, 31.44, still as fast as any car on the track. So Bollinger committed to this wide open technique, pitted on 93. That might be the magic number. Speed is dropping as he's riding around that back lap into turn 3, riding in the middle.
Parham is out of fuel, it looks like. Parham falling back bad, but you're right. He's caught
there it is, coming into the tri-oval, and Colin Bollinger, 3 wins on the year. Congratulations, the king of the North. Y'all must have forgot because the champ is here. Meanwhile, Parham gonna finish in 2nd. Great finish for Justin. Matt Novella up on the podium. Got to be thrilled. Jay Stinson continuing his assault on those points as he finishes in 4th. And Venom, 3 in the top 5 with Kenneth Redinger coming home in 5th place. Wow.
Crazy finish, too. You see Nate Lesko. He coasted across the start-finish line, me and Gene. Nate Lesko completely out of fuel. Colin Bollinger, he has enough fuel to do burnouts, doesn't he? So Bollinger doing it all right. He's got that Joey Logano gas tank right now, and that Joey Logano success. What a win by Colin Bollinger. And like you said, y'all must have forgot because the champ is back on top. Colin Bollinger, what a drive. I think it goes without saying, me, Gene, that was the best drive we've seen from Bollinger this season.
Yeah, and he had to battle up. Remember, he did get caught on that caution that made those cars have to have that wave around. It affected Nate Lesko a whole lot more than it did Bollinger. Bollinger went forward, Lesko went backwards, and at the end, it's Colin Bollinger with the fuel and the speed to take the win. Other big shout-outs, look at that. Joe Vulpes brings it home in 6th. Jeff Herman gonna take the 7th place position. Grats to the newcomer. Started in 26th, finished 7th. Kevin Kyle with a good run there from the Sim and Destroy factory racer. Nate Lesko does finish 9th, and Wyatt Mickelson clocks another top 10. Good run for the number 51 rookie.
Yeah, Wyatt Mickelson has really been impressing lately, me and Gene. And I'm going to have something happen that's kind of loud real quick, and you guys can ignore it. That didn't just happen.
Wounded Warrior Project.
Okay, but anyway, in 11th place, Kyle Lynott. We talked about Lynott pre-race. We expected big things out of him, and I think we may have missed him. Because Kyle Lynott doing a great job, starting in the mid-20s, driving him to 11th. Phenomenal there. Tony Iverson, we speculated 15th was the goal. 12th is not bad. Last car on the lead lap is Iverson. All things considered, could have been far worse, but also really good chance he could have taken that 2 out of that finishing position. In 3rd place, you have Sam Milliken. You saw Milliken in a pretty significant accident about halfway through this race, so phenomenal recovery by him. Grant Applegate blew it in the pits today. Applegate always has the speed, always has the dominance, but the execution still has not been consistent enough to have as many win stickers as that 14 should have next to that name. But Grant Applegate, our defending champion, continuing to show why he is such. A good finish for him, comfortably in the chase still. Ryan Holla, another very impressive new driver here, giving shades of guys like Dagger, just so, and who, finished right behind him. Those two, I guess I'll have to bunch them together. Dagger and Holla, two of the brightest rookies that we have in this, I shouldn't say rookies, newer to this series drivers we have right now. Both of them have been phenomenal, and the progression and improvement they are showing week to week has been phenomenal to watch, and I cannot wait. And I am rooting for both of those guys to make the postseason because I think they would have something to say if they do. The reign of terror for Michael Mata continues, Mean Gene. Michael Mata, early race accidents on Michael Mata, but Michael Mata with an incredible recovery today. I make fun of him because he's a good friend and because he's so fast that I know he can take it, because that dude has that car back in a podium position with less than 20 to go, but he was one of those drivers who did not have enough fuel, forced to pit, and that makes him a lap down, and he's going to end up in 17th. Nick Mills, this race was a movie, me and Jane, because Nick Mills is another one of those guys who you could have sworn at the very worst would be in the top 5, right? No. Nick Mills finishes 18th place. Somebody who led laps today, had a chance to win. And like you said, mid-race, our top points finisher, I wouldn't even be surprised with that 18th place finish if that stays the same. Our highest points leader right now without a win is Mills. And we're going to keep saying that as many times as we can because it's not going to be true for very much longer. And 19th place, Craig Schroeder. Great job there by the S6, who funnily, Mean Gene, before the race, before I turned off before I muted everything, I heard him ask, could you guys check I have the 66 on my car? And I swear to God, they said yes.
Yeah, they're being mean.
They're such bullies over there.
They are. They are.
John Beverly, who needs to get his league on a leash and tell him to be nice to Craig. I'm kidding.
Be nice to Craig. Hashtag nice to Craig.
But J-Bev, we saw him getting the Michael Mata, he was just an opening date for the Michael Mata Reign of Terror. And J-Bev, big shout out to the phenomenal sponsor today and the, I'm sorry, not the sponsor, the cause today, this idea for this race. Hats off to John Beverly, and big thank you to everything he does. And big thank you to him for also, that is a great admin right there, Mean Gene, because I would have parked it. But he's toughed it out. 2 laps down. Going. Yep, and finishes 20th. Lucas Al's going to come home 21st. Matthew Skerwick, someone we have not talked enough about today, but has been so good recently. He's going to finish 22nd today. That 3 laps down tells me that something went wrong for him because he's been too good this season for that to be straight up. Same goes for Zach Winstead. We saw him being a gentleman late in that race, giving the leaders room to race. Great job by Winstead. Hunter Hall, another guy that we're more and more often seeing the top 10, but those finishes are going to start happening soon. Today was not that day, 24th. Buddy Solly, the restart. Buddy Solly, Mean Gene. Yeah, besides that one race, we know the speed is there, but Solly has not had the finishes. Steve Lewis, same goes for him. This is a driver who would be important in the postseason, but he's got to be careful. He won't even be there. Lewis so fast, running the top 5 for a lot of today, but winds up 36 laps down. Massive wreck that he had nothing to do with. Brad Furrow winds up 27th. We saw him potentially have some pit penalty issues that elected him to make him call it a day. Same goes for Hillman, caught up in an earlier incident, I believe. Pit penalty issues made him call it a day as well. Gambrel's Reign of Terror has been going on for months now, and it has no end in sight. That will have him wind up 77 laps down in 29th. And Brandon Guerin, same story, different Monday. Not his fault, wrecked early.
Yeah, you got to hate that. Brandon was right on the points line, so we'll see what he can recover, as this was the 9th race of it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up the race, but the broadcast is not over. We are going to go to our postseason show, which is brought to you by the Highside Hustlers and Tony Iverson. But before we say goodbye to the race portion of our show, thank you once again to our sponsor, the MRL sponsored Stream to Serve 135. Stream to Serve, of course, is the platform. You can see the QR code there on the bottom right to donate to the Wounded Warrior Project. All proceeds from this MRL Stream to Serve fundraiser will go to the Wounded Warrior Project. So thank you for the support. And I think on the outro, we got a little video. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We will go ahead and show you guys this video, and we will see y'all in the post race.
Wounded Warrior Project has made a promise to stand by warriors for a lifetime. Thanks to the support of our grateful nation, we delivered critical programs and services this past year that made a real difference in the lives of those who serve. In 2025, we reached more veterans and their families than ever before. We strengthened our advocacy efforts, championing policies that improve the lives of veterans and their families. We helped them heal, mind, body, and soul.
With Wounded Warrior Project's help, it's possible to live again, to find purpose and meaning in your life, and be able to share that with your loved ones and the community and other warriors.
We provided valuable connections that changed and saved lives. Through their determination and our support, we reached new heights. Together, we've made incredible progress. As we celebrate 250 years of American courage and resilience, we remain more committed than ever to keep our promise, to leave no warrior behind, and to help them thrive for a lifetime.
And here we are for the post-race show presented by Highside Hustler. And again, big shout out to that amazing race or movement that Beverly put together. So cool. And I know with everything in my heart that's going to be a massive success because this league is just so incredible with all its support. So can't wait to see that, Mean Gene.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate that MRL. Very, very savvy about what's going on there. And I saw a name I haven't seen in a while, not since my QRL Xbox days.
Wow.
I saw Beardy. Yeah, I think I saw Beardy out there. Beardy hiding behind the apron. He might be the wizard that doesn't want you to look back there. So maybe a shout out to Beardy as well for making all of this happen. So we are in the post-race show, which means it's time to talk about things in the post-race. And the first thing I want to do, I want to bring up the winner of the race, the first three-time winner here in season number 6, King of the North, Colin Bollinger. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty great, guys. How you guys doing?
Oh man, I mean, I'm not good enough to do donuts when I'm running out of fuel. How much hot fuel do you have in that hot rod?
About 22%.
Oh, we had half. As we hit the line, we had like 1.2, and then we had enough to get around and do a burnout, and then we rolled out, and that's about it.
Now, I did have an opportunity to give a little bit of quiet talk, a little pillow talk with Colin before we switched over to the broadcast. Now, Colin, you revealed something about your car I would have never guessed. You want to tell the viewers at home?
Yeah, I mean, on the initial run there, I think me and Tony ended up getting together, and they're just racing thing. I think he got a little tight off the bottom and kind of got me loose. It hit and stuck me in the wall as I tried to correct it. I had 4.5 minutes of damage to start, and over the next 2 cautions, I
I got down to 2 minutes, and that's all I could get down to, and we raced the rest of the night with 2 minutes damage. So it felt pretty good though. So I mean, I can't complain.
What are you saying? It was a 2311 Toyota out there?
I mean, honestly, you're not gonna. When I was still making time with that, that's exactly what I thought of it. I was laughing over in the chat with Plant. So that's exactly what I thought. The same thing.
Now, if you're wondering of whom he speaks, of course, we're talking about Team Delusional team member Robert Plant Smith. How is Smith doing? I remember he got that concussion with his contact with Steve Lewis. The doctor's not clearing him to race today. Are we going to see Mr. Plant back on the track soon?
I don't know, man, because during the race he was over there babbling, and I couldn't even understand what he was saying, but it sounded like he was hyping me up the whole race, but I really couldn't tell. So I mean, if he's anything like that next week, we might as well just keep him off the track. It's safer for everybody.
Hey, concussions are real, man. Okay, concussions. He's still wearing the neck brace. Louis got me. I saw written on there. So poor Mr. Smith. But all jokes aside, Colin, it's been an amazing 3 years. We saw you win the Xfinity Championship. Then you came in, you won another Xfinity Championship. You won the Monday Night Cup Championship. And then here come all these new people, all this new blood. You got Applegate comes in. Then this year you add a Lesko to it. Other fast drivers. We've seen Wyatt Mickelson. We've seen Ryan Holla. It's gotten a lot more quick and also maybe a little bit more physical. What's your observation?
I mean, I agree. It's gonna be like that. But when you have a lot of faster guys come in, we're all racing for the same piece of real estate. So I mean, you're gonna have stuff like that, and even you want to quote unquote say that not as fast guys, they're any given night they could be just as quick, and they're racing for the same piece of asphalt that we're all racing for. So stuff's gonna happen. I mean, at the end of the day, like we got a couple minutes of damage at the beginning, but we didn't let it bother us, and look what happened. We grinded out and we won the race. That's just what you gotta do. Maybe we shouldn't cry about everything as much as we do in here, but we're not gonna say who does that or what. We'll leave that to the side. But no, it's been fun, and we need more guys. Honestly, keep bringing them. We're gonna keep winning. I really don't care. It might not be as often, but we'll get it done.
That's what I was about to say, because I've heard you communicate with your teammates as well. You want your teammates to do well, but I've also heard you get louder when talking about strategy. You want your teammates to go for that win as much as you want that win for yourself. And it sounds like you welcome that competition from anybody who wants to get behind the wheel.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're all out here doing it for fun, but if you're not out there to win, whether you're really out, you could say fun, but you know what's fun? Winning's fun. So everybody's trying to win, so it doesn't, just because they're my teammates, if you got something for me, let's see it. And same with everybody else, and they do. A lot of these guys do show it every week, and we're all battling and having a good time, some more than others, but no, I'm having fun, third win on the season. I don't think we're done yet, but you never know.
Nice. Now, how did you feel about Legacy Atlanta versus Echopark? First time MRL has been here.
Oh, way better.
They've always run the new, after the 2021 repave with the higher banks. What did you think of this Legacy Atlanta? You want to see her stick around?
Oh my God, you guys are, yes, you already know the answer.
To that, man, Gene. You know how Bunger feels about Super Speedways.
I gotta throw meatballs.
Super Speedway racing makes me upset. So when we go to the new Atlanta now, it's just not a good time. And most times, a lot of guys are having record race cars and everybody's mad. So tonight, don't get wrong, some guys were mad with the pit strategy, getting messed up with some of these guys wrecking and stuff. But overall, I think we had 2 cautions. So I mean, I'd rather have that every single night than race at New Atlanta and wreck every 15 laps. So.
Preach.
Yeah, well, it was very exciting for us, especially being part of a doubleheader. We got to see how the ARCA cars handled it, and then the larger field with the faster cars. So exciting there at the end. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go, Colin?
I'll say all those guys, the Team Delusional Racing, Dan Plant Smith, Ray Sean Wickfield, even though he wasn't here tonight, Andrew Bolander, even though he wasn't here tonight. They let me by myself, but we work best by ourselves apparently. So, and other than that, just you guys, always put on a good broadcast, always having energy and make everybody, have a good time, and really brings it all together.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Colin Bollinger, King of the North, with his third win on the year. And you heard him here, it might not be over, as they still have 4 more races in the regular season. Winning, you're in 3 times, and now firmly in that battle for points championship, as we're still waiting. Yeah, we're still waiting for the update to see exactly where you'll be. You were 4th coming in, little bit of a gap up to those guys in front of you, but definitely a great way to make it happen. Colin, have a great evening. Go have a frosty beverage. Go have you a nice Dr. Pepper. You earned it.
Great job, Colin. Incredible drive, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Man, 3 wins on the year. And I love how we've seen him win with speed. We've seen him win with aggression. And now we see him win with the fuel strategy. So just a jack of all trades, right? A man with many hats.
Just like the caption says right now, and like you said, when he crossed the start-finish line to take that W, Mean Gene, you must have forgot about the CB53, because that dude reminded you guys today, that was a masterclass. That was a 10 out of 10, purely immaculate. Did not put a wheel wrong and saved the perfect amount of gas, enough for a burnout. And that is a friendly reminder that this guy, whenever he feels like it, still runs things.
Yes, he does. All right, let's go ahead and pull our second place finisher out of the hole like a groundhog and surprise him. Justin, you out there, brother?
Yeah, I got you.
Justin Parham, man, what a drive. And me and Gene, I'm mad that I'm the one that is stuck with the sad guys week after week. But Parham, you sound pretty upbeat, because, I mean, incredible job today. Did you feel like you had something for that 53 of Bollinger on the latter end of that race, or was it just a little bit too much to deal with there?
Well, I thought I saved my tires better in that last run than I had the whole race, but the right front just went away. I mean, I was easier in, easier out, but when the race was over, I got pulled over and looked, and it was the worst my tires had been the whole race. So it was just, I guess went a little too harder than I thought I was going, but I thought I was doing better at saving them in that last run than I had the rest of the race, but I mean, just lost the right front a little too early.
When it's Bollinger, it's almost impossible to tell right now, and I've been in that situation too, where you're like, cool, that was definitely enough, and then he has more, and you're like, okay, forget it then. One thing I'd love to know too, we know a lot of those drivers in a pretty bad fuel situation on that last run, and given no caution there. Bollinger crossed the start finish line with 1.5 laps of gas, or lap of gas, which would tell me that you were below 1. And is that true? And if so, how much gas saving did you have to do during that run that may have sacrificed a little bit of speed, or were you just going for it and letting the chips fall where they did?
I'd say the first 5, maybe 10 laps, somewhere around there, I was really gentle on the throttle, saving a little fuel. I actually ran out of fuel coming out of turn 2 after we crossed the finish line.
Oh my God. So perfect. That worked out amazingly. I mean, it's been, and Barham, it's been incredible seeing you the past couple of weeks. Whenever you're here, you're running up front, and I can say personally, you were already a driver I was afraid of every time I got to share the track. I mean, afraid of, I was going to lose to you. But the step you've taken forward in the past 6-8 months has been truly special to see. I could not have done what you did today against Colin, so hats off to you. Incredible job. And for those who don't know, this guy's full-time over on Wednesdays, and he is doing unreal over there, and definitely a championship favorite. So incredible job here, Justin. You always love seeing you here on Mondays. Hope to see you here more. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you out of here?
Just the league for putting everything on, letting us get out here pretty much almost every night of the week, with all the different series. Of course, y'all for doing the broadcast. All of the series over here has a good broadcast, whether it's this one or the rebroadcast for Friday night or Wednesday nights. So just a league, and y'all for doing the broadcast for us.
Well, thank you so much, Justin. Whenever your Mondays are free, please come race here in the Cup Series, because I can't beat you in an ARCA car. I know that very well by myself. So in the Cup Series, please come race so I can call it and just gush over you. Amazing job today, dude, and I will see you on the track on Wednesday. Great job, man.
Yes, sir.
Love that guy, man, Gene.
I'll tell you what, man, that whole team today, Venom again, just scoring. Last week was the first time that we saw Highside Hustlers not take the points lead or take the most points for a single race was last week at Richmond. I think we're going to see that again this week with Parham and Stinson finishing 2 and 4. Whereas for High Side Hustlers, I got to dip way downtown. Bang. Iverson 12th. I'm still looking. Buddy Sully 25th.
Yeah. At least.
So, yeah, another big day for Venom catching up there on those guys. So, yeah, I mean, and then you look, Parham 2nd, Stinson 4th, Redinger 5th. That team really flexing at the right time. I think if Stinson ends up making his way into that playoff picture, and I go down here. Oh, that is quite unfortunate. It looks like Redinger and Parham both one start short of being able to get in. But that doesn't mean they can't help their buddy Jay make a run for it at the end. You know, you can win a championship.
Yeah, and potentially be even more useful than a full-timer like what we were watching with Applegate and Iverson, right? We kind of saw that today not be super advantageous. Once the postseason comes around, and if Parham has the time, if he's able to show up to these races, he has zero incentive outside of being, let me make sure my good friend and teammates Jay Stinson wins a championship.
And you know, there's other things, other factors on the track you got to take into place, depending on how your relationship has gone with those guys. You know, look at when Colin came around, when he was chasing Justin, you know, Nick Mills and Buddy Sully did not do Bollinger any favors there. They didn't do anything wrong by any mean, but it was just funny to watch how that all unfolded. Third place today gonna be
a Shark Reaper,
Mr. Matt Novella. So I'm gonna hit the right buttons so I can go find him. I'm looking. I think I got him.
Yes, sir.
Shazam! Matt Novella, Mean Gene, Zach Panzarella in the booth. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, sir. You got a copy?
I got you, man. Get up on this podium, my friend.
Oh,
what
man,
a race.
about time. Ooh, about time.
Now, a lot of people out there sweating their fuel situation. I gotta ask, how much fuel did you have in that hot rod at the end?
Oh, I had plenty. I had three and a half laps left. So yeah, I had plenty. Of fuel. Yeah.
Now, you did pit on lap number 94, so that was a little bit later than the two cars in front of you, so you had to feel good about that situation. But you showed a lot of speed there at the end, cutting through the traffic. Take me through that last stage, you know, those last 40-ish laps. Did you know that you had not just the fuel, but also the car to cut up? And what was the ceiling for the 56 coming into that last green flag run?
You know, after coming out of the pits and then seeing that I had passed Stinson and somebody else, Redinger, I believe it was, and I was like, okay, let me just try to settle in. I just want to run the bottom and save tire. These guys catch me, they're gonna catch me. I just wanted to just run the bottom, save tire. And I know Stinson had caught me a little bit, and then he ended up fading there at the end. And yeah, it was just sticking it to the bottom, and it ended up working out. You know, a couple of people had some trouble on pit road, but yeah, it ended up working out.
Yeah, not your day for the troubles in pit road. The 56 making that stop. Now, much different than the Echopark version, the post 2021 repave. And the pit entrance especially, we did see a couple of guys get caught speeding there at the end. I haven't asked anybody else about it. How much different do you feel about the entrance? Not the track, not the banking, not the wider straightaways, just the pit entrance. Do you feel like it's easier or more difficult than having to come, you know, Echopark, of course, you come in under the cone on 3. Here, you got a lot more freedom. Does that make it a lot more difficult?
I believe so. I mean, the entrance is not bad. It's just the transition. That's what kind of throws a lot of people off, is that transition, trying to get it down. But it's not too bad. The new one definitely is easier, but the old one's not too bad. There are worse ones.
Yeah, some of those things just magically appear on you. And since
Texas is terrible.
Oh, you gotta love it. I'm going to that race live in May. I cannot wait to see exactly what's going to happen to those guys when they come flying in there. Yes, Matt Novella is standing up. He is the real number 56. So.
Yes, sir.
Not the S6.
Yeah.
I just did a full Eminem verse.
The imposter.
And watch your interview. You'll enjoy it, Novella.
Yeah, he's doing lyrics. He's spitting bars.
I really am.
He's spitting bars over there. So Matt, like you said earlier, though, at last, finally, it's been an interesting season for the 56 so far. You're in the middle of this playoff hunt. You're right there, but the finishes just haven't been exactly what we come to expect. You know, we've seen you finish as a truck champion. We've seen you win races in a cup car. We've seen you on the top three, but a lot of you've been here the whole time, so you're somebody that has a great perspective. You want to talk about the health of the league and just the new blood and how fast these guys are?
Oh yeah, this new blood that's coming along is really good. It's good for the league. It's definitely pushed a lot of drivers to be faster and get faster. So yeah, it's done really, really, really good. I mean, more people to put a little challenge to Colin would be good too. But yeah, more guys that are fast. I mean, push us to be faster and helps the league grow even more. You know.
Yeah, Colin made that comment that he loved seeing more and more fast guys in, and I think that's another thing that we could say about you is loving the competition and just having that ability to really put yourself to the test out there. You're currently tied with Eric Gambrell, 8th in points, but you guys are closer to the top than you are to the cut line, if that makes sense. And so the 56 really not in a I got to win situation, but these podiums definitely going to make you feel good about where you are throughout the rest of the season. Any in particular brown pant moment you want to share with the fans at home?
You know what? No, I was actually pretty good. I think one of those restarts when they had that tire spin, that was a quick little pucker moment, but I think the rest of it was pretty decent for me.
Did you have a front row seat, or were you close when Nick Mills and Buddy Sully had a time?
No, I did not see that.
It was enjoyable. You have to go back and see that. And before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to out there?
Wife and kids. You guys for putting on a great show every time, and everybody at MRL.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is Matt Novella, driver of the number 56, coming home with that third place finish, moving up in the points as we will head next week to Nashville and see what the boys of Mayhem can do. Thank you, Matt. Have a great night, brother. Good seeing you in the booth again.
You as well, sir. Take care, guys.
Good job, Matt. Talk to you soon, man.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, it'd been a hot minute since he came and visited us.
I missed
up in
it,
the
man.
booth.
Overdue. So Matt Novella, I agree, overdue, and it's not like he hasn't been running up there, but I think with this league, it's starting to show in a little bit, and I think I talked about this maybe last Wednesday, but I ran in a league, I've talked about it a lot of times here, PRL, where I a lot of times was able to run top 5, top 4 when our league combined between our pro and am leagues, and I found myself wrecking a lot, being up there a lot, but never having the finishes to show for it. And that's not the type of driver Matt is. Matt's been at this for so long, but it's the type of league this has become, where these drivers are having such a hard time staying up front. And it doesn't just go to what happens on track in terms of incidents. It really is shown with 2 drivers, one of which is their defending champion. The other one is the most shocking driver probably of all our series, Mean Gene, who is not a champion yet, and Tony Iverson, that beat themselves. And if you want to point to one reason why, the pressure they were feeling from the rest of the field.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there 100%. And it's amazing to see how people respond once they feel the pressure going on around them. A different series, but one would point at the Bonfire Racing League Premier Cup Sunday Championship, where Jax Duvall had an amazing season, ends up in the Final Four, and just overturns every corner the first 15 laps of the championship race and basically wrecks himself out. Hadn't seen that before out of the guy. That front bumper is usually going into the rear of somebody, not into the outside wall. And then he comes back this season and he's already laying out podiums. So
right.
Again, it's amazing how it can all affect you for just that one race, or even carry on. So we'll see, next week in Nashville. A lot of guys love that track. Hopefully we might even see a zero chill appearance.
I'm going
to have to send a letter out to David Owens along with my weekly letter that I send out to David Cook. Where are you? Please come back.
Gene, so you saw those Slim Shady bars I was throwing down. There was one that I almost did, but I just last second chose not to do it. And it was, where is David Owens? David Owens is dead, stupid. He's locked in my basement. I think that's what may have happened with Matt Novella there. I think he may have Dr. Dre'd him. Because where did David Owens go? We miss you, David. And he's been putting on a show, or whoever's driving that David Owens car on Tuesdays. Yeah. But he has been as good as ever.
Yeah. David Owens, solid driver when he has the opportunity to show. But again, you got to take care of real life before you can play. And that's the situation we all find ourselves in. And that's also, though, why you get the rules that protect the drivers that are committed, because it does take a sacrifice to make all of these appearances. You got family, you got work, all those different things that are going on. So it does take 9 appearances here in the Monday Night Mayhem series to be eligible for the playoffs, whether you win or not. And so that's kind of what we're keeping track of. Points not updated yet, so guess what? We're going to get to do a special. We're going to get to do a special talk about it. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow night during the Bonfire Big Truckin' Tuesday. I'm sure David Buell would love to see another series being highlighted.
Oh, he'd love that.
In the middle of his Brave Pig broadcast.
That'd be his favorite thing for sure. But you kind of alluded to how good of a job that Bev has done building the rules around this league, and this is, I think, the races that you see in that DDIRL, MRL, BRL ecosystems, you can call it. I would say this is, and I mean this in a very, very positive way, one of the more strict leagues where you can get away with the least, and that is John Bev being so diligent about what is okay and what is not okay in this league, whether that be the way you act on the comms, the way you act off the track on Discord, or the way you act on track. And that does not mean egregiously wrecking somebody. That can mean careless driving. So oftentimes when we see a delayed points process like that, it means there could be something that maybe we missed. Unless we saw it, which I didn't. Mean Gene, I didn't see anything egregious out there. But Bev, we know, had a good perspective on the field for a lot of that race. Maybe saw something he didn't love, maybe taking a closer look at it before he finalizes anything, which will be interesting to cover. Because Bev's such a hard worker and so quick on that stuff that he's not the type of guy that he forgot. There's normally a reason.
And then there is always that 24-hour period. Nothing.
Right.
No actions can be taken unless a driver files. You got to send a video, give the admins the opportunity to look at something. I mean, if it is just egregious and everybody sees it, then sure, maybe some action's going to be taken without an official
which we would have seen.
Right. But if you're a driver out here, and as you know, in all leagues, it is, the onus of that, the burden of that comes down to you taking that step to clip that video, or at least contact somebody who can clip the video and send it in to those league admins to take care of that. And you're right, Bev and Joe Volpus have done a great job of monitoring this and making sure that we get a strong competitive league. We've seen a lot of door banging going on, but again, the drivers realize that I'm not spinning. I'm not altering your race. I am altering your line. And for my part, as the broadcaster, I like seeing that, as long as it's clean and the drivers understand that it's just competition on the track and not a verbal debate of life and death gravity off of the track.
Right, and on top of that, Gene, they've said some things about each other, like specifically Tony Iverson, Bollinger, Kevin Kyle. Oh man, I think the list goes on. I'm sure I'm forgetting some. They've said some things where I'm like, that would end some leaks. Like, because some guys are sensitive, they take it too personally, and these guys understand, like, we are race car drivers, and what we feel about each other as people has nothing to do with what I'm saying about you right now. I can't stand you as a race car driver, but I can't wait to race you again next Monday. And I don't think any other league I can say with confidence, no other league on BRN has that level of vitriol while being so cordial on track. It's really fun.
Yeah, they want to be able to say they beat him on the track.
Yeah, and they want to beat that specific person. And they want it to hurt.
And so it's, yeah, exactly. And it's been fun to cover over the last 3 seasons. And kudos to the admins for keeping control of those temperatures, keeping the reins on the thoroughbreds so that we still get that amazing action. And speaking of amazing action, you know how to make sure that you get to see all of that action? You got to be a subscriber to the Vortex Racing Network. We are privileged enough to carry 4 series across our evenings of broadcast. There they are. You just saw the Monday night doubleheader from Legacy Atlanta, DDI ARCA series, where we saw Hilltop Bullet bring us that live broadcast. The Monday Night Mayhem series, Zach and I, so privileged to bring you the action. Tomorrow night, join Zach and I again. We'll be joined in the booth by Smoking Joe for the Dennis Bucket Big Truckin' Tuesday series. And boy, this thing about to wrap up the regular season playoffs on the horizon. And we'll see if Vulpes will be as dominant in the postseason
let's reset these
as
points.
the regular. Yeah, and that's the best part. You're going to get a reset. You only get 2 elimination round, 2 races per elimination round, and tiebreaker, everybody advances. Wednesday night MRL DDI Moonlight Truck Series. This, of course, the all-star of Who's Who, bringing together all the leagues into this series. MRL and DDI both successful truck leagues merge for this, giving us all-stars from all 3 leagues coming together for competition. And Wednesday, where are we going to watch this one from, Zach?
Bristol. And we had less cautions than BRL.
It's Bristol, baby. You know you're going to want to see that action on the last great Coliseum. What all-star will take the checkered flag? Thursday's coming soon. Quantum Contender Series will be a next-gen series. Kevin Kyle bringing you all the action live Thursday nights. And then Sunday, the Bonfire Premier Cup Series heating up with familiar names over there. Nick Mills has got himself a win. Joe Vulpes has got himself a win. Come see stars like David Medina. Plenty of action on the track over there Sundays. So best way to see it all, make sure you are a member, subscribe, and when you're watching the videos, like them and share them to your friends. Heck, share them to the people you don't even like too, because you never know. Maybe that'll be the thing that gets you guys back on the same page, and you can be buddies at the water cooler the next day.
They won't have a KK Whiskips trophy, but they'll be watching us.
That's right. That's right. So thank you. This is going to wrap up the postseason show. Thank you so much to Tony Iverson and the Highside Hustlers for sponsoring the postseason show. Want to bring it all the way back around. You just watched the Stream to Serve 135. Thank you so much to MRL, John Beverly, and probably Beardy for making this happen. Stream to Serve, of course, is the platform to get donations to in-need charities. This charity, of course, that we have put this together to support is the Wounded Warrior Project. So thank you so much to MRL and Stream to Serve for this opportunity. QR code down there on the bottom right. If you'd like to make a donation to the Wounded Warrior Project, you can send it right there through Stream to Serve. And thank you to MRL for sponsoring this race here tonight. Another one of our sponsors, got to give a lot of love to Jordan Fisher and Fish Speed Brakes. Jordan has created a community of coaches and drivers dedicated to the next gen fixed setup. Every track, there is information that you can learn, and VRN now starting a partnership with Fish Speed. Gonna have those track guides out there for you to watch right here on the Vortex Racing Network YouTube channel. So next 3 MRL races will be released slowly. Nashville, first one to come. So if you want to know how to get faster at Nashville in a fixed next-gen setup, you're going to want to check this thing out and let you know exactly what those boys over at Fish Speed Brakes are all about. If you're wondering how fast they can be, Evan Stewart just took a dub for Fish Speed yesterday.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He took the dub at Phoenix.
That's awesome. Evan Stewart, great driver, really improving quickly. He was in NARCA for a little bit. And just to add to that super quickly, me and Gene, about Fish Speed, I cannot explain how valuable this is going to be. When I was learning how to get decent at this and how to be competitive, those DJE track guides were my Bible. I watched them time and time again before I even stepped foot in any racetrack, and I cannot explain how good they were to me. And I can tell you from my personal opinion, I think Jordan Fisher is better than Justin Yee is, and I think that Jordan Fisher cares more about this than not just Justin, but anybody. I think Jordan Fisher is so passionate about this, and not just about iRacing in general, but really extending his knowledge on and his wisdom and teaching other drivers how to be faster and how to do it the most professional way possible, which is what Jordan is doing. He drives like a pro. He can hang with anyone out there, real life or in this sim. And I think the last thing I can really say about that is whenever I'm plateauing, I always remind myself this, whenever I'm plateauing on a track and I can't figure out how to get faster, every time, this never fails me and Gene, the way I take the next step up is by finding the fastest guy on track and riding on board with him. And that's always how you find that little thing that you weren't doing. You weren't thinking that way. Your brain wasn't working that way yet. Jordan Fisher is going to give you that. He's going to be talking about it. He's going to be walking you through it both on track and with and vocally. And it's going to be a difference maker for everybody here. Definitely take advantage of these. They are going to be so exciting to have. And I really could not pick a better driver to be doing it.
Yeah, super excited. With the track guides going to be added to the Vortex Racing Network library. Also, big shout out to KK Woodscapes, Kevin Kyle, and his trophy endeavor. Kevin sponsoring the trophy to the league champion, as he does for so many leagues across the Vortex umbrella. If you have a league and you want a trophy that is truly unique and spectacular to look at, check out Kevin's Wood. He cuts the wood, laser cuts it for you, stains the wood, paints the wood, and those beautiful hands right there will package it up. And there you can see whether it's for teams, whether it's for fantasy, anything that you need. If you got a need, he's got the wood. KK Woodscapes original trophy sponsoring MRL. Also, big shout to Sim and Destroy Racing, Kevin Kyle's latest endeavor with the merchandise apparel, clothing apparel. He has the shirts right now and expanding now into driver shirts. That's right. If you are a driver and you've got a certain livery you would love to put on a shirt with your name, this is the guy you want to reach out to. 100% cotton shirts, big, bold graphics. Those shirts really cheap. You can get one for $40. If you want to get multiple shirts, first one's $40, the next ones are $25, and then of course 5 for $100. Reach out, Sim and Destroy Racing Company, get that sweet merch. And thank you as well to Tony Iverson, Sim and Destroy Racing. Tony Iverson with the High Side Hustlers. Woo, it's getting late. For his sponsorship of the post-season show here, post-race show on the Vortex Racing Network. Thank you so much to Tony. Any final thoughts before we head out, Zach?
Amazing race. I love this track, Mean Gene. Like I said in my interview, when I got to race this in ARCA, the first part of our doubleheader, I had never experienced an ARCA car race so well in a mile and a half. Then we come here in the next-gen cars, and the one thing that I felt like we would know is that it would race very differently. And that was true, but it raced good. It raced so good. And one thing we're starting to see is that every single one of our championship contenders are feeling the heat, they're feeling the pressure, and the mistakes are starting to really pile up, which is just making this that much more fascinating. And on top of that, what I'm really loving too is the mistakes don't involve other drivers anymore. They're not bringing other people down with them. So it's really just creating this incredibly fascinating racing that's having drivers like Matt Novella an absolute championship contender that if he makes the chase, good luck, boys, is have the possibility here, get a podium finish, just making this more and more intriguing. Cannot wait for next week. And one more giant shout out to John Beverly and the league for this awesome cause for this race. And one last reminder, bottom right is a QR code to donate. And if that doesn't work for you, in the description of this broadcast, you will find that same link to donate to an amazing cause.
Yeah, thanks. Big shout out. Thank you so much, John and maybe Beardy, for making that happen. And thank you to the MRL for giving us that platform to spread this message for such an amazing charity. Now, points did go up. Eric Gambrill losing 3 spots, Louis losing 1, Ryan Holla losing 1, all of them being victimized by the assault of Jay Stinson, moves up into 10th. And if you look at the points, it is a 13-man race now. Brandon with the rough drive today, Jack with the no-show. So you can see really 13 guys battling for 12 spots. But below that, win and in is still on the board for multiple drivers with good speed. You can see like a Eric Thornton could still come in and take a win. A Sean Walton could still come in and take a win. Zach Clausen, if he's running, he could come in. Plant Smith, that guy's still alive. So all these guys have wins in other series, so they're not done yet.
Is 4 enough?
Am I looking? Oh, Zerwick, my bad.
Zerwick is alive, yes. Plant Smith is
Zerwick is alive with 6.
So the cutoff now is...
Case of beer.
Yes, he is, and he has a pole. He's been great. Is the cutoff 6 right now?
Yeah, 6 would be the cut.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, then you go up, Schrader, Milliken, Beverly, Mata, Colonel Sanders, all those guys, Brandon Guerin, all still alive, but really finding themselves into that win and you're in situation.
Yeah, sure.
So wanted to give a quick shout out to that before we disappear, but that is going to wrap up our broadcast for tonight. Join us tomorrow night for Dennis Bucket Big Truck and Tuesday live here on the Vortex Racing Network. On behalf of myself, Mean Gene Money, my tag team partner, Zach Panzarella, big shout out to all of our sponsors for making it possible for us to do what we do. Thank you as well to the league admins for creating the environment of which we all enjoy. Thank you to the viewers at home who make this worthwhile each and every night. Have a great evening. Take care of yourselves. And as always, bottoms up and hammer down.